that you've been
Y'all
told?
are so fun.
It's a Tootsie Roll. All right, y'all, let's get excited, though, because this is it. This is the day where big decisions are made. This is where you make a decision to change your life for the rest of your life. And we got to get some dancing in. Sarge, you ready?
We got to do one quick announcement. If you're an agency manager, you need to go upstairs. If you're agency manager, you need to go upstairs.
Yes. Agency managers upstairs. All right, turn it up some more, Billy. Turn it up for us. Let's get it.
Let me see that. Oh. Oh. Dance contest. Marcus versus Sarge. Who's putting their money on Marcus? Hey.
Hey.
Hands up.
Hey.
Hands up, everybody. Hey. 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 There you go, Sarge. We need everybody hands up in there. Hands up in there.
Let's get it.
This is how we get a party started right here, y'all. Hands up, hands up. We only have 20 seconds.
Hooray! Ho! Hey! Ho! Hey! Ho! Hey! Ho! Ho! Hey! Ho! Hey! Ho! Hey! Ho!
Y'all are the best.
All right, y'all, let's get it, let's get it, let's get it!
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Alliance stage, Megan Wood, Stephanie Rodriguez, and Beret Joseph.
I wanna be a billionaire, so freaking bad. Buy all of the things I never had.
How we doing? Woo! Look at this. Isn't this amazing?
They look amazing.
Woo! Feel like a rock star up here.
You are a rock star.
Ah, you're a rock star. All right. So I don't know. I want to start this off, and we'll kind of go through just like a short introduce ourselves a little bit. I think it's awesome that we're all mamas up here.
That's right.
That's right.
Woo! I like the combo. So I am Megan Wood from Lafayette, Indiana. I'm part of Mike and Noelle Leventovich. You guys heard my story yesterday. So I just want to say, like, it's all about doing what you can with the amount of time that you have. I made a choice that I'm never going to let my son look at me and be like, my mom didn't fight hard for me. My mom wasn't a hard worker. My mom can't give me the things in life that I want and that I need. My son is never going to say those words. And so I'm just super fired up to be here, and I'm super fired up for what you guys are going to learn from us today. Love you.
And I'm Beret Joseph. I'm married to Jake Joseph. That's right. So Jake and I are from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Like she said, I'm a mama. I've got 2 daughters, so just super blessed to be up here and talking to you guys today. And I would touch with on what Megan said. You know, a lot of people might think like, oh, this is all that they do. This is how they're successful. But we've got a family too. We take the time with our kids, but like she said, the time that we do have to put into our business, we're 100% in at that time. So if you guys have families or other obstacles, I would just say the time that you do have to put into this business, make sure you're putting it into the business.
Right.
Hey guys, I'm Stephanie Rodriguez. I'm from Treasure Island, Florida, hired by Big Mike Hartley, and I have my fiance here, Mike. We call him My Mike. so people don't think that I'm going out with Big Mike.
Well,
We have 2 kids, 10 and 3, but the girls said it perfectly. We do this for everyone. We do it for our kids, we do it for our families, and we do it for you guys too. Setting the example and just putting everything we can in when we are working is so important, because when we go home, that should be family time. And we're not the only ones with kids, so hopefully kind of seeing what we do and how our schedule works and everything that we have done leading up to this moment is helpful for you, and we something to
In 24/7 mamas.
That's
In
right.
24/7 family. In 24/7 alliance.
That's right.
That's right. So I'll kind of run you through my day. So when my son was in kindergarten, I would wake up in the morning. I'd drop him off at school at 7:30 a.m. I would make it back to the office and have my morning meeting with my staff till 8:30. I would go out. I would enter in all my people, all my leads into my road warrior the night before, and I'll go into that a little bit as well. But I would leave there at 8:30, go to my first home, and then my next closest home, and then my next closest home, and then my next closest home, until 1 o'clock. I would have to leave and go pick up my son from school. And then I get to be a stay-at-home mom. So it's all about, what can I do with the short amount of time that I have? What can I get in that day to be successful? And I plan the night ahead. I plan to be successful. I have a list of 20 people that I put the night before that I'm going to do secondary sales. And then I also put into my Road Warrior app. And it's an app that you can put all your leads into, as many. I think I pay like $9 to be able to put an unlimited amount of addresses into my Road Warrior. Because I'll tell you, I would have picked Bob, and Bob lived 30 minutes away, but I thought it was going to be a fantastic lead. I'm like, Bob looks good. I know I'm going to sell to Bob.
he didn't sound like he had COPD.
I know. He needs something. But Mary was literally 2 minutes from me, but I was choosing Bob 30 minutes away because I thought he looked good. So the Road Warrior app, it just basically, it tells you where to go next. And then you get there and it tells you where to go next. You put optimize and it'll tell you the closest home to you, the next closest home, the next closest home. So you don't have to make that decision of what lead you think is going to be a good lead. So, I mean, just every day with the time that I have, what can I fit into the day? And I pick up my son, and I am a stay-at-home mom. I don't do door knocks after I pick up my son. I have that time, and I am in fully with the time that I have. And I just think planning the night before is definitely a huge thing, because you wake up and you're ready to go. You already know what you're going to do. You know you're going to be successful because you planned it the night before. You have to set yourself up to succeed instead of set yourself up for failure. Go ahead.
So I run my schedule way different than she does, but I mean, everything works because it's just what works for you. What works for Megan might not work for you. What works for me might not work for Steph. So I dial every Monday, and we book 20 appointments for Tuesday, Wednesday. We pick up the phone again on Thursday, and we dial to book 20 more appointments Friday and Saturday. So 40 appointments a week, dialing on Mondays, and then picking up the phone again and dialing on Thursdays. So the way our subject today is door knocking, so we still door knock, maybe not in the way that Megan does, but the way that I door knock is if I have a no-show, because you are going to book appointments where maybe they're not there. So being prepared with, okay, they didn't show up, so instead of wasting this time in the car, how can I be out helping another family or maybe making a secondary sale? So that's how I run my schedule, is door knocking on the no-shows, or maybe I didn't have as successful as a dial session as I wanted to, then I'll start door knocking for that. Or maybe it's just somebody I haven't gotten a hold of for a long time.
Right, and mine is actually a mixture of the two. But I think it's important to know that my schedule has evolved, as I'm sure everybody's has. So the way that you see it may not be the way that you guys start out, but it's okay to change your schedule and try and find a little bit of what works. When I first started, and I would go to dial sessions, I was terrified of the phone. So even if they picked up, I would hang up. And if I did try and dial, I would lock myself in Big Mike's like other room where no one could hear me because I was just terrified. And I didn't have that much time when I was first starting out. As you guys kind of heard last night, we had no money for babysitters, so I was really limited. I had 2 days a week, 4 hours each day. So if I was lucky enough to get one appointment, they didn't show up, I would be left with nothing to do. So I started door knocking instead. And when I finally sat with people, I saw what it was that I was supposed to be doing and how I could serve them. And that gave me the confidence I needed to be able to start dialing. So my script evolved. I took a little bit from a few of the people in the office and it became my own. But now I do try and book like beret 10-10, dial Thursday 10-10. But if for whatever reason that doesn't happen, like usually it falls about 7 or 8, I will right then get all the leads I have in that area and I will road warrior them before I leave the office. And then I will put the papers in order so it's all ready to go. So when I get in the car in the morning, all I have to do is open my book and go. And that seems to be working out well.
I think it's important to know it's like, do what works and don't change it. I mean, do what works until it does not work anymore. Keep doing that. I know we want to run through a couple door knock scripts so you guys can kind of get an idea. I know a lot of you are brand new. So we want to show you basically what that looks like. So got our knocker. Okay, wait. Hang on, I'm not ready to knock.
Hold on.
That wasn't my knock anyway. Let's get a real knock.
So Megan is going to be door knocking me. So I'm the lead. Okay, guys.
Yeah. You're gonna be Mary. Okay, hang on. And so this is how I kind of run through it. I got my leads, and I got my leads in my car, my front seat, passenger seat, all my leads stacked up. I got my bags. I pull up to her home. I pull up to Mary's house. I do not pull in the driveway. I pull on the road. Not right in front of the house either, because I don't want Mary to know, like, who in the heck is pulling up at my house? Like, who is that? Don't answer the door. So no, I don't pull up in her driveway. I don't pull up right by her house. I might pull just a little bit, maybe even in between houses. So, I mean, they don't know where I'm going. So I have everything. I got my bag. I got my delivery notice, which I'll talk about here in a minute. But I got the delivery notice. I got my phone. I got my pen. I got the lead. And so I have everything ready because I am expecting that Mary is going to be home. I am expecting that Mary is going to let me in, and I am expecting to write an application and help out Mary. Like, that's what I'm going to do. And I think just having that in your head, it means everything. Because if you expect Mary's not going to be home, she ain't going to be home. Mary ain't going to let me in. Mary ain't going to like me. No, you can't do that because you're tricking yourself. Mary's going to be home. Mary's going to let me in. And I'm going to help Mary out. So I have all my stuff ready. So I even wave when I'm going to smile and wave. Because just in case they're looking out the window, they're like, oh, shoot, she sees us. So I'm waving. Hi, Mary.
Yes?
How are you doing?
Good.
Good. Well, my name's Megan. I tried calling you, and I couldn't reach you. But you had filled this out right here. It was about the state-regulated program. It pays for final expenses, and they gave it to me because I live right here in North Carolina, just right down the road. I live like 5 minutes from you, but you probably didn't recognize my number when I called because I do the same thing.
Okay, wait, what was this?
It's the state-regulated program. It pays for final expenses, and is that your signature right there?
Yeah, actually, that is my signature.
Yeah. So my job, I'm just supposed to get you the information, ask you a couple questions, see what you qualify for. It only takes a couple minutes. You got a couple minutes.
Okay. Does my husband need to be here? Because his name is on there too.
Yeah. Is he home?
Yes, he's home.
Perfect. Okay. Yes, I would love to meet him as well.
Okay.
Just this takes a couple minutes.
Okay.
No big deal.
Yeah, come on in.
All right.
Come
cool,
on in.
Cool. Do you
Okay.
drink coffee?
I do.
Oh my gosh. You see, it's like it's I'm not nervous, and I make it a point to not be nervous. Because when you're nervous and you go up there, you're going to terrify Mary. Because I could go up there and well, let's just do it.
She did seem kind of pushy. Like, I was even backing up into my own house. Like, she was coming in.
Come on in. So you want to do one where, like, it's not going to work?
Yes. Okay, let's do that.
All right.
Hello?
Mary?
Yes.
Hi, Mary. My name is Megan, and you had filled this out right here. Do you remember that?
No, I don't remember that.
Oh. Are you sure?
Let me see here. What is this?
This is about the card and it looks like you and Richard filled out.
No, I don't.
Not?
You know, I'm not interested.
Really?
Really.
Why?
You're scaring me.
Like, that is what not to do. Like, I am nervous and I'm terrifying Mary. Like, even if you are nervous, it's like, don't make yourself not be. Like, you're laid back, you're excited. You tried to reach her, and she probably didn't recognize your number. It's like, play it over and over and over and over again in your head, because you're good at what you focus on. You're good at what you focus on. You're good at what you obsess over. And so I've just played it in my head thousands and thousands and thousands of times. And then, finally, it just starts, you just start doing it. You just get better and better and better as you go. Do you, want to try it? All right, let's do that.
Yes?
Hi, Mary.
Yes?
Hi, how are you doing?
Good.
Good. Well, my name's Megan. I tried calling you, and I couldn't reach you, but you probably didn't recognize my number. I do the same thing. No big deal.
Okay.
But you had filled out this card here, and it was about the state-regulated program right here. It pays for final expenses, and they gave it to me because I live like 5 minutes from your house, and so I'm just supposed to get you the information. So what I do is I just ask you a couple questions, see what you qualify for. Just takes a couple minutes, no big deal.
Okay. Well, I'm actually getting ready to step out to the store right now.
Oh, you're going to the store?
Yeah, I've got to go run some errands.
Oh, okay. Well, no problem. No problem. If you can give me just 2 minutes, because I'm leaving to go to North Carolina tomorrow. I promise I won't take much of your time. It just takes a couple minutes.
Okay. Well, I had my purse ready. Like, we're going to the store right now.
Well, shoot. Okay. All right. No problem. What I'm going to do is I have to go to a couple different places, and then I'll just swing back by. Does this afternoon work okay for you?
Yeah, after the store should be fine.
Perfect.
How long does it take?
Just a couple minutes.
Okay.
No big deal.
Because I'm busy. But
yeah,
if
no.
it just takes
no,
a
I
couple
hear you.
minutes.
I'm
okay.
super busy too. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go to these other appointments here, and then I'll just swing back by.
Okay.
All right, hon.
All right.
I'll see you here shortly.
All right.
All right.
Sounds good.
Okay. So
I think it's important to point out that you used AIM, you acknowledged, you ignored, and you moved right past it. And you just said the same thing, because then it's like in her head.
Yeah.
2 minutes, no big deal. Be
Right.
right back.
no big deal. No big deal. I'm busy too. No problem. I'm busy too. I'm just going to go to a couple places. I'll be right back. But I don't leave my phone number. Here's my number. Call me when you get back to the house. They ain't going to call you. Why would she call me? No. She's not sure that she even wants to let me in her house. She ain't gonna call me. So I think that's important.
So one of the tools that we use when we're door knocking, so as you see, so this piece of paper that Megan has here, she carries her lead with her to the door. She might have said that already, but you carry the lead with you to the door.
I carry the lead. I carry everything with me.
And then what else do you carry?
So I carry my bag. It's got paper applications in it. It's got my pens. I got my phone. I got everything because I am ready to do that appointment right then and there. And then also the delivery notices that when they're not there, we stick one on their door. Delivery notice. They're going to call you back because they're excited that they have a delivery.
Yeah, they really think you dropped off a package. They call you right back.
Yeah.
We are the package.
We are the package.
Yep.
And so, you know, also when they call you back, well, what do? I can tell you what I do. They're calling me back. I don't answer my phone when I'm out doing door knocks. I see her number come through and I see the lead and oh my gosh, that same phone number matches the lead and I know she's home because she called me. I'm just going right back there. I know she's there. I don't need to call her back.
Right.
So.
And then I think Stephanie and I do it a little bit different than she does. So if you want to touch on that.
So when I leave the sticky note, I know you actually put an ID.
I do put an ID.
I don't. I just put Stephanie R. Don't put your full last name in case you get some crazy people. Don't want them to know your whole name and number. But then when I see it coming in, what I used to do was I would get so excited, I would answer the phone because I'd be like, oh, they're calling me back. I can go back over. But I wouldn't remember the name, and I wouldn't remember, like, if it was mortgage protection or final expense, and then they would think I was a scam because I would be like, well, okay, Mary, what's your last name? And she would be like, well, if you know who I am, why don't you know my last name? And it didn't matter what I would say at that point. It would fail completely. So now what I do is I just wait, and if I'm having a good day and I'm moving through the rest of my schedule, I listen to my voicemails at the end of the day, and then I make a note of like that time they were home, and I just go back over. I will say that I did one time call the lady back, and she was like, oh yeah, you got a package for me, you can bring it over anytime. And so I went over and we're sitting there doing the appointment. She let me right in, no problem. And while we're sitting there talking, she's like, I'm waiting for a package to come, should be here any minute. And I'm like, I'm the package. And it was so funny. I ended up writing a $106,000 annuity for her.
Woo!
A single premium $10,000 policy, and BAM is actually working right now with us. She has a little over $2.4 million. So, nice. I mean, you don't know. That's why it's so important to try a little bit of everything because we all have similarities, but we are not the same, and our personalities are not.
And I think it's like putting yourself out there. Like we're figuring stuff out because we're working. And I think that's important to know because I used to put on the ID 658012. So people would call me, send me a voicemail, be like, yeah, my name is Mary, 658012. I'm like, shoot, everybody's 658012. So what I started doing was 658012 FE. When they call, I know it's final expense. Thank you, Chris Manifold. Appreciate it. Mortgage protection, 658012 MO. Medicare, 658012 MD. And so, like, I know, Medicare. But, you know, I think it's just important to know that it's like, when you're going out there and you're putting yourself out there and you're working, you get better. You start seeing, oh, I should be doing that. You start figuring it out. Because we weren't perfect from day one, and I think it's important to know that. We're still not perfect. We're still learning. You know, we still ask questions, we still communicate. And I think that's a big thing to know as well. Like, I still call Mike and Noel. I still ask questions every single day. And I know Stephanie and I know Veray, we ask questions because we know we don't know everything.
I think an important thing to point out is talk to your upline, because I think a lot of people from this speech is like, oh, I'm just going to do door knocking. I'm going to be just like Megan Wood. And it's like, that's not how she started. So dialing is a huge part of what we do. So talk to your upline and get good at that, and then weave these in. Because if you try to go out there and just blindly door knock, you're probably going to get your teeth kicked in and you're not going to be too happy.
Yeah, exactly.
So trust me, I tried it. I was like, I'm going to be like Megan Wood. No. I was like, Jake, I need to dial this evening. But that would be my advice. So we've got a few of these for you guys. So if you guys... they're available at the Alliance store as well.
That's
so
right.
if you guys don't have these door knock stickies, stop at the Alliance store. But whoever screams the loudest, we're going to throw some of these out too.
Hey, give us 2 each. Huh? Yeah, so they have it says delivery notice, first attempt, second attempt, final attempt, addressee, delivery date, time you were there, ID, contact person, which is us, and then your phone number. All right?
Right, and there's first, second, and final attempt. I always check second or final. I never check first, by the way.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah,
All right, so who wants some door knock stickies? All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
These are dangerous.
That's right. Did you knock somebody out, Stephanie?
I didn't.
You got more of those?
I still have a ton.
Oh,
Sorry. There we go.
I'm going to let you do.
Let's see. I'll do one more. All right, who wants this one? There we go. Cool.
like a frisbee.
I can't watch.
Well,
All
we
right.
appreciate your guys'
Thank you.
time. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Alliance stage, Brandon Beal!
My bad. I get excited, y'all. Everybody need a hero, baby. I love me some James, man. If y'all don't like James, come see me. I'm so grateful and blessed to be up here with you guys today. Andy asked me to speak about something that I'm passionate about. He wanted me to speak about my niche or niche, however you want to pronounce it. We legit talk about saving lives. We talk about changing lives. And I believe there's a product that we have that can do that. A lot of y'all see me as this IUL guy, and I would agree with you. But if you're not doing this on a monthly basis, shame on you. First of all, who doesn't know what an IUL is? Awesome. Who doesn't have an IUL? Don't be shy. Y'all come see me after this and I'll write you up. I'm serious. No, I'm serious. Like, I joke, but I'm serious. Like, we all need this. How can you sell one if you don't have one? If I'm going to a Ferrari or a Lamborghini dealership and the guy's never test driven it, don't try and sell me that car. You can't tell me anything about it. I'm 6'5", 280. You don't know what it's like to be 6'5", 280 in this little ass car. You know what I mean? But we have power. Do y'all realize that? We have power to change lives. We have power to help people create generational wealth with this product. Right, Kyle? Like, we have the ability to change lives, okay? Something that really hit me is I walk into a Target with my wife, or we walk into a Walmart, and who's greeting you? It's always some cute little old lady with long silver flowing hair, right? Cute as a button, as my mom would say, right? And it's like, man, why is she not living out her golden years, having fun and relaxing like she should be? She didn't save properly, or she didn't have the knowledge or the education to know how to save properly, okay? I truly believe, and I've made it my mission to educate. Educate both affluent and non-affluent people on the power of Index Universal Life. I really believe that it is the eighth wonder of the world, and I really believe that if you work hard enough at what I'm going to teach you guys today, just really quickly, because I don't have a lot of time. I told them to give me 40 minutes. They gave me 10. Then you will be successful at this too. Well, Brandon, how can I get in front of the type of people you talk to? Okay. Oh, he gave me more time. Nope, cut it down. Okay. That's funny. In his heyday, y'all saw Brian Tracy, right? That's how Brian Tracy conducts, or used to conduct, teaching and educating the masses. The man would do seminar after seminar up on stage, live and in living color, in cities, countries, counties, states, and more other countries all across the world, right? He'd have to do millions and thousands of seminars, right? But do y'all know there's something out there right now called social media? Hey, I'm not going to sit here and say you should be doing this all day, but seriously, wake up, brush your teeth, post content. Before you go to bed, kiss your loved one goodnight, post content, okay? Some of my biggest cases, no BS, have come from taking 5 minutes to post a quick picture or a 30 to 60 second clip on the power of Index Universal Life. I'm not kidding you. In January, one of them was $250,000 in premium, annual premium. Gave me a good grip. Seriously, okay? Another one was, I made a post on Facebook about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I'm sorry, and 3 guys responded. All these guys, I'm 35. I haven't talked to these dudes since I was 20 years old. Okay, it's been 15 years. No contact whatsoever, so I wouldn't even call them close friends, okay? I talked to one, let me think about it, okay? That pissed me off, by the way. What is there to think about? Talk to another guy, let me think about it. He made me more pissed. The third guy says, dude, I'm so glad I saw this. I have $20,000 sitting in the bank that I'm getting ready to put into a 529. And guess what my Facebook post was about? IUL versus 529. You never know who's gonna see what you put out there. Again, to be clear, do not deviate from your dial times. Do not deviate from your recruiting times. That is set in stone, okay? Time with my wife, set in stone, okay? Time with your kids, set in stone. But if you've got 5 or 10 minutes to say, hey, here's why this product is so awesome, do it. Take 5 minutes, Danny. You don't have to be crazy social media tech savvy to do it, okay? And if you don't know what to post, follow me. Copy my stuff, right? CASE, copy and steal everything. I'm not gonna stand up here and tell you I'm the end all be all. I'm not, okay? I'm not gonna BS you either. I steal a lot of shit too. Seriously. But I make it sound like it came from me. Evan Patzer is a dear friend of mine. This dude will take everything I got, cut my name and face out, and make it his. And it's hilarious. I get a kick out of it. It tickles the hell out of me, and like I think it's hilarious, right? Do the same thing, okay? If you don't know what to post, you don't know what to say, copy me. Copy other people that are copying me. There was one day I made a post, and I swear there was probably like 10, 20 people in the Alliance reposting the same thing. That's how, we're educators. That's how the information gets out there. You make one post, I don't know, what is there, 1,000 people in this room? You have a potential shot at getting 100 people's attention. 10 people might be interested. You might close 2. Seriously. Another one of my biggest was about $5,000 a month. But it wasn't him, it was his friend who referred him. says, hey, man, this guy made this post. You should take a look at it. And if y'all don't believe me, y'all know Jim Mosley with NLG? Dear friend, I made a post. His wife took the post, reposted it, and their friend reached out to them to talk to me. No kidding. I'm like, Jim, you take it. Just cut me in on it. You know? We're winding down here. So that guy that, you know, wanted to do he had the $20,000 in the bank. I'm going back to that. We wound up front-loading his daughter in IUL, $10,000 of that $20,000, plus an additional $200 a month on top of that, and I made this girl a millionaire overnight, at least on paper. That did something to me. Thank you. And can I be an adult for just like 10 seconds? That's what real men do. We don't just take care of today. We take care of our wives and our children's tomorrow. I'm tired of these dudes making babies, but they can't take care of their babies. It's infuriating. Sorry, I had to get real adult quick. So when y'all listen to me talk about Index Universal Life, listen to my conviction. Listen to my voice. Look at my face and know that there is nothing any of you, no disrespect, can do to tell me that there's anything better on God's beautiful green earth in the retirement space that is better than this product. I believe every American in every home, I don't care if it's $5, $20, $20,000 a month, you need one. Because something, as my dad would always say, is better than nothing. My dad says, Brandon, even if you save a penny every day, you'll be a rich man. And compound and compound. Compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Again, for all of you who don't have IULs, please come to me. Happily set you up. Guys, that's my time. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for letting me be crazy today.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Mr. Tim Gold.
Thank you. All right. How are you? Yeah. Everybody good? Are you fired up? Did you practice your Ice Ice Baby last night? You got that down, huh? Some of you all, I got video of you that you're going to want. I promise you. Because when I send it to your moms, they're going to be really excited about seeing it, man. Are you ready? I'm going on rapid fire. If you have an iPad, smartphone, piece of paper, ink pen, highlighter, whatever you need, eyeliner, lipstick, just take some notes. Are you ready? There's 3 things I want you to work on big time over the next 90 days in your life. Are you ready? If you're ready, say I'm ready. Okay, if you talk to me, I'll be better. I promise you. I really will. Number 1, I want you to work on your identity. I want you to know who you are. I want you to know your value. I want you to know that you're important. I want you to know that you matter. Your existence, your touch, your smile, you make all the difference in the world. I want you to know your value, because if you don't know your value, you will continually and consistently perform at a level that's less than who you are, and we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. You're not your yesterdays. You're not what they said about you. They're not what you said about you in the 4th grade. You are mighty, and you make a difference, and you are powerful, and you've got what it takes. Is that all right? So write it down in capital letters. I will no longer waste my life. I won't do it anymore. All right? Are you okay with that? All right. Sounds like they're waking up. That's good. Number 2 is I want you to work on your mindset. Your attitude will be your biggest battle. You can see your attitude in everything you do. You can see your attitude when you walk in a room, when you walk in a house, when you get on a phone. People can feel your attitude. Can't you feel anger before you get there? Anybody in the room besides me married? How many of you know if your spouse is upset, you can feel it before they say anything? Can I get a yay? A yay. I'm telling you right now. And if you're not smart like I am, you will every now and then go, hey, babe, is there something wrong? Not a good question. Anyhow, people feel you before they see you. And I can see you in this room. I can see how you feel about yourself. I can see how you feel about your future. What separates you from everybody else in the room? Do you know what it is? Your picture of tomorrow. What does the future look like? You better write down there, I got a bright future. I got an amazing future. But you've got to do these things. You've got to work on your identity. You've got to work on your mindset. Guess what you have to do? You have to learn and unlearn and relearn. Don't get mad at me. Write it down and argue with yourself later. Can you do this? What's keeping you from knowing what you need to know is what you already know. You think you know it. But there's a whole nother life for you, sir. There's a whole nother life for you, man. There's a whole nother life for the people around you. Because how many of you know the people that are following you, it's not what you teach, it's what they see. Your breakthroughs give breakthroughs to everybody around you. Anybody besides me ready for a big, massive breakthrough? You ready? Yeah, I love breakthroughs. All right, so the third thing I want you to work on is your discipline. Discipline. Write down there, I am disciplined. Write down there, I can say no to cookies. Write that down right there. I can say no to cookies. Chris and Courtney Long bought me cookies. And I was sitting in the parking last night. My wife wasn't there. She wouldn't allow me to have it because she's got me eating chicken and grass right now. It's not fun. I'm telling you, I am not a happy boy. Do you understand that? I'm a joyful boy, but I'm not a happy boy right now. I just want to sneak. So last night, I broke the cookie box open. And I told myself, just one. Have I got any fellow strugglers in the room here with me right now? And that one tasted so good, I said, I better taste another one. Thank God my wife left bottled water in the car because I was able to wash down cookies. Let me just tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you're looking at an overachiever. I tore those cookies up. How many of you know selling, building, and recruiting? I'm an overachiever. You need to write that down. I'm an overachiever. I got what it takes. 4 questions I want you to write down right now. Are you ready? Sorry, I'm giving you a lot of information. Number 1, what do you want? What do you want? If I sit down and had a cup of coffee with you right now, what do you want? What do you want your life to be like? What do you want your marriage to be like? What do you want your bank account to be like? What do you want your car to look like? I was with a pastor friend of mine one day, and his car kept breaking down. This is when I lived in Ohio. And when you know snowstorms in Ohio, it was snowing like crazy. And his car wouldn't run. And we were pushing it in the middle of a blizzard. And he got out of his car, and I said, why do you keep this car? He said, because God gave it to me. I said, well, then why don't you invite him down to help push it then? Because I'm tired of this car. Have you ever gotten to the point in your life where you're sick and tired of being sick and tired? You want something different in your life. Can I get a yeah in here? If you want something different, say, yeah, I want something different. Some of y'all don't talk to yourselves enough, or you do, but you say all the negative stuff. I'm an idiot. I'm dumb. I'm stupid. I'm no good. I ain't got what it takes. You better tell that person to shut up. And you better start saying, I'm an overcomer. I'm an overachiever. My name's going up in lights. I'm going partner. Okay, I got you. You're good. I'll calm down. Sorry. Coffee is kicking in right now. I love it. Thank you very much. Second question is, why do you want it? Why do you want it? Why do you want it? If you look in Megan Wood's eyes, you're going to know why she wants it. If you look in Paul Roberts' eyes, you're going to know why he wants it. If you look in Stephanie's eyes, you're going to know why she wants it. If you look in Mike's eyes, you're going to know why he wants it. Not only that he wants it, He knows why he wants it. You better write it down. The people that know how will always work for the people that know why. Now, I'm not telling you not to know how. You hear me? I want you to be the best. Look around this room right now and say, I am the best at the basics. I am the best at the basics. I have mastered the basics. I have mastered the mundane. Can I tell you, you can be the newest person in the room and outgrow everybody in the room, but you've got to get some desire inside of you. You've got to get hungry. You've got to do it. Next question is, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do? What are you going to do about it, sir? What are you going to do? What are you going to change? What are 5 changes you can make right now that would make all the difference in the world? You don't like your circumstances? Change it. You don't like your relationships? Don't change the relationships. Change you in the relationship. Tomorrow morning, if you've got guts, meet me back here tomorrow morning. I'm going to give you the 7 principles to absolutely resolve conflict in your life. Conflict is not what's hurting you. What's hurting you is unresolved conflict. And let me tell you what the enemy's really after in your life. He's after the power of agreement, because agreement is the most powerful thing on this planet. Because where agreement is, there's unity. And where there's unity, there's process and progress and prosperity. Anybody in the room want some of that? I do. I do. It's a little weak, but it's going to get better. I promise you that right now. The last question is, who are you going to need to help? Who do you need to help? Right now, if you've got a dream and you've got a vision, you're 3 people away from a totally different life. But who's going to help? Do you have a mentor? My name is Tim. They call me PT. Pastor Tim. Let me tell you, I have 12 men in my life, ladies and gentlemen, that on a major decision, I do not move till I get it. Why? Why? Are you stupid, Tim? I can't be. I'm going to tell you why. Because if I make a wrong choice, a lot of lives are at stake. You don't have any idea your legacy. And right now you're raising legends. So, in the remaining time, can I talk to you about something that all of us are going to have to do? You look at your neighbor right now. You look at Megan Woods right now. She's got to do this. Paul Roberts has got to do this. I don't care who you are. You have to do this. Right now, guess what you have to do? You have to stretch. You got to stretch. Do not be impressed with what you've done. And don't be discouraged by what you haven't done. Stretch. Stretch. My wife, we walk and run every morning and lift weights, all that stuff. She's always telling me, "Oh, baby, you need to stretch." And I'm like, stretching is a waste of time. I will stretch as I run. You know what they're telling me? They're telling me that a tight muscle is a weak muscle. They're telling me the real truth of youth. Do you know what it is? Flexibility. Does that blow your mind? Some of you right now are being stretched. You realize the sole existence for a rubber band is to be stretched so it can hold something else back together. Right now, I got some good news for you. You're being stretched because you're about to hold something together that you used to see fall apart. Are you ready? Right now, will you be stretched? Will you allow the stretching process to take place in your life? I read a book that says you will not have more put on you than you will have the ability to handle. You have an unfair advantage in this room, ladies and gentlemen, and that is you have a power that's greater than your circumstances. tomorrow morning, I can't wait to tell you about it, because what most of us do is anytime we get a dream or we get a vision or we get an understanding, guess what we start doing? We start explaining our circumstances, and we believe our circumstances dictate our futures. And I got a Greek word for that. Baloney. Baloney. Brandon's up here, 6'5", 290. I'm up here, 5'9", trying to get back to 170. I like to fit in a Ferrari, so when you buy it, I can sit down in it. You understand what I'm talking about? You better buy a Ferrari. We got a date. Me and you, we got a date. You get that cotton-picking Ferrari, and you're going to let me drive it. Do you understand that? I'm going to drive your Ferrari, and I can't wait. By the way, somebody over here is going to get a yacht, and you're going to serve me steak and lobster on that yacht. Had a buddy of mine, he took me to dinner the other night. He said, get anything you want. I said, anything I want? He said, yes, anything you want. I said, all right, I'm going for filet mignon and a lobster. He goes, do it. And I started dancing. I stretched. I was like, whoa, this is awesome. I can eat steak and lobster. I was fired up. The waiter brought my lobster out with the steak. It was missing a claw. I said to him, hey. He said, what? I said, hey, I'm missing a claw. He goes, yeah, you are. I said, what happened? He said, all I can tell you is it must have gotten a fight. To which I said, you take this one back and you bring me out the winter, because I ain't eating a loser lobster. Do you know what I'm talking about? I'm not doing it. Are you ready to stretch? Come on, say I'm ready to stretch. All right, guys, I love you. It's your time. Go get them, man. Love
you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's bring out Emily Carr.
Good morning, Alliance family. Woo! I cannot tell you guys how fired up I am to be here right now. It feels so good to have the team back together. Thank you, Andy and Jane, for this opportunity. The responsibility and an honor I don't take. I'm going to be talking to you guys today about how I made $32,000 last year while juggling a full-time college schedule at NC State and being 18 and 19. While my topic is college and commissions, I'm hoping everybody can apply this in their life, because we all have stuff going on that makes this business and our dreams inconvenient. Winning is not supposed to be easy, but it sure as heck is. Tim Grover says that for everyone, there are endless setbacks, challenges, obstacles, roadblocks that force most people out of the race. But if you stay with it, if you can survive the battlefield in your mind, if you can tolerate fear and doubt, loneliness, winning would like word. If winning was easy, everyone would do it. It's the fact that everyone doesn't do it that makes it worth it. It's that fight, having to grow to become the person who can win. And I'm not going to pretend it was easy. It wasn't easy to hear my roommates talking about how I was working too much or missing out on the cool party, cool fun that was going on. I have a severe case of FOMO, so I don't like missing out on things. And it was hard. There were days I did not feel like running appointments because I didn't want to miss out on what was going on back then. I cried. Sometimes it was lonely. But there's nothing in this world I would change those lonely nights for, because they led me to Aruba. And I would much rather be on a 5-star trip with my parents and the Alliance family, not a frat party. I love the people I met at college, but the people I want to be like are all along these walls and in this room today. If you think and act like everyone else, you're gonna be like everyone else. And I made the decision a long time ago that I did not want to live a mediocre life. You're going to encounter people who are going to judge you for missing that birthday party or your kid's kindergarten kickball game, whatever the heck is going on. But I promise the sacrifice is worth the reward. I love how Andy talks about missing basketball games on TV for years, but now he gets to watch them from the floor with the coaches. So, sacrifice in the short term so you can experience excellence. I believe, y'all, with everything inside of me, this event, this business can forever change your life. But it's not going to if you don't figure out what you're going to work for. If you don't know why you are willing to get up, work, sacrifice, you're just going to keep going in the rat race, get frustrated. No shows are going to bother you a whole lot more. I know what I'm fighting for. I'm fighting for my future family to have a mommy to look up to. I'm fighting to be the wife that my future husband needs. I'm fighting so that my kids are never going to have to look outside of the house for an example to follow. I don't ever want anybody to say that I gave up on my dreams. And once you figure out what you're fighting for, the two biggest things I think will help you is committing to a specific schedule, controlling who you associate. So let's talk about schedule first. You need to define reality and set realistic expectations. And your growing upline is an awesome resource for this because they've got experience helping people with schedules. My first full year was 2020, right when we started talking about 40-40. Y'all, I got fired up. Awesome, I'm gonna go out, run 40 appointments, recruit 40 people a week. I'm fired up. But I was taking 17 credit hours. It just wasn't gonna happen. And if I set my goal at 40 appointments a week, I would constantly be letting myself down, and it would just mess with myself. So I sat down with Noelle Leventovich, and she helped me clarify my schedule, my priorities, what I needed to work through. I wasn't doing 40-40, but I was doing Emily. She taught me to be specific with every minute of my day. For example, I worked out at 6:15 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And so we put that in my schedule, and then we had to put my shower, my reading time, my eating, sleeping, everything. Since I stayed up late as a college student, sometimes waking up at 5:45 a.m. kind of sucked. And so I realized that I couldn't stay awake in my classes on those days since I didn't get any sleep. And so I put in 20-minute naps into my schedule. And I also scheduled non-productive activities during non-productive. I scheduled my Netflix. I mean, have you guys seen Too Hot to Handle? Trashy, but you gotta schedule it. It might sound a little obsessive to schedule Netflix, sleeping, eating, but it gave me so much freedom with my time, and it helped with emotional stability. Ogmandino says, weak is he who permits his thoughts to control his actions. Strong is he who forces his actions to control his thoughts. And you have to force your actions to control your thoughts. You can't permit your thoughts to control your actions. The only thing I think will be more imperative to your success schedule is the people you choose to associate with. Whether you've had positive influences in your life up to this point or not, you get a choice going on from today to associate with positive people. Andy talks about it all the time. You want to be a millionaire, hang around millionaires. You want to be a drug dealer, hang around drug dealers. And to be clear, being Adam and Beth Kath's daughter has done me zero favors dialing or running appointments. I don't have some magical aura whenever I walk in the home that's like, oh, they want to buy from me. No. But it did give me the opportunity to associate with people like Andy and Jane, Mike and Noelle, Bella, Jake, who have shown me how to overcome challenges, stay positive in the battle. I was shown books by people like Brian Tracy, Napoleon Hill, John Maxwell. You get a choice today to change your associations. And maybe you don't have a great family that you're going home to. Maybe you have negativity surrounding you back at home. But you have access to books. You have access to Andy frickin' Albright every Wednesday and Friday. Don't take that lightly. It's not supposed to be convenient to get around success. You had to make sacrifices to be here today, and it's a choice. And there's always going to be things trying to distract you. I remember in middle and high school, I volunteered at my church, and every once in a while they would do like pastries for the volunteers. And I also did the Daniel fast a couple times, which is where you cut out sugar and gluten and pretty much good. And it seemed that every time I made that commitment to do the Daniel fast, come in the next Sunday, there were the cinnamon rolls and muffins. Like, what the heck? You guys didn't have these last week. And I know that's a silly problem, but the point is there's always going to be things coming at you and distractions that you're going to have to figure out how to work with. They're going to come at you hard as soon as you make commitment, have a positive. Get ready. One of my sister's favorite movies is Storks. The infamous line we use in our family is, make a plan, stick to the plan, always deliver. You get a choice today to stop making excuses, stick to the plan. The plan is the 8th step. Andy has made it so simple. He wrote a book about it, plastered along the walls. It's not hard. Our job is to live. One of my favorite quotes is by Randy Pausch in the last lecture, and he says, the brick walls are not there to keep you out. They're there to see how bad you are. I'm going to fight for my dreams. I'm going to choose to get 1% better today and every day. I'm going to go knock down some brick walls. Who's ready to come with me and change their legacy? Thank you. Love y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Alliance stage, Jake and Joseph Ray.
How's it going? Woo! I just love that song. Takes me back. Okay. That's right. So we are Jake and Veray Joseph out of Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Yeah, we are.
We were hired by the lovely Jera Gonzalez, also out of Albuquerque. So a little shout out to her for introducing us to this opportunity. A little bit about Jake and myself. We've got 2 beautiful daughters, a 7-year-old and a 5-year-old. Yes, I know we look young to have kids. Everybody tells us that. So.
Well.
But man, I remember my first conference. It was January of 2019, brand new license. And I was like looking at these people on the stage and I told myself, what do I have to do to get up on that stage? And here we are. So we're fired up.
Woo, man. I love being here. Glad everyone made it. We're all family. We're all invited. Like it says, like, come to a family reunion. People I actually like. Makes sense. So Andy always talks about have fun, make money, make a difference, right? And that speaks so much to us. And that we're going to be talking a little bit about that today, is having fun and making the money part, right? So 2020 was a crazy year. It taught us a lot, taught us to work and keep our heads up, keep going. And so what we're going to be talking about is our incredible journey, making it to where in 2021, we were able to have in our bank account a total of $58,000.
Woo!
And year to date have over 100,000 that's come in outside of that. And it's just been crazy. So we wanted to take you on this incredible journey. Now, when I say that, it didn't always start that way. So kind of backing up a little bit, Ray and I originally met sophomore year of high school. We were 15 years old. So I know some of you still say we look that way, but we're a little bit older now. And we actually met through a mutual friend. So if there's one thing you pull away from family reunion, warm market is great. That's how I found my wife.
Woo!
And we started dating 15, 16 years old. And at that time, we had no money. But I actually ran into a little bit. My grandmother had gifted me $7,000, most money I've ever seen in my life at that time. And it was a kind of a great start.
So, yeah, so Jake and I met, like he said, when we were 15 and 16. And very shortly after, about 8 months into dating, I became pregnant. Hey, yo. So, we were definitely scared. You think of like a pregnant mom or an expecting mom. A lot of times it's congratulations. It's, when are you due? What can we do to help you out? But our story was definitely a little different. We were obviously young, but I remember when I told my dad and my mom and Jake's parents that we were pregnant, I mean, we just got the harshest words thrown at us. I forget who was talking about it yesterday, but just, putting your kids down. And I didn't expect them to celebrate my pregnancy, but I didn't expect them to also tell us, what they had told us. So it started off with, you can't do this, you're too young, you don't have the potential to love a kid, you don't even know, you guys don't even love each other, it's just lust. We had no support. One of the biggest things that had hit me was my dad and Jake's parents had actually said, don't worry, if it's about the money, don't worry about it, we'll pay for the abortion. And so that really hit me hard. There was a specific time we were sitting at Jake's parents' kitchen table, and that's what they were basically trying to convince us to do. You can't do it. Think about daycare. Think about, all of these things that you're going to have to go through, and you're just kids yourself. There's no way that you're going to do it. I took a stand for myself that day, and I told them no. I was going to have that baby. So we had our daughter. Telling them no was hard for me. We were scared. I didn't know what I was doing, much less how I was gonna have a kid. We started believing, I look back and as a pregnant mom, a lot of times people have a lot of pictures of like, oh, this was when I was pregnant, and my 7-year-old will ask me like, Mom, do you have a picture of when you were pregnant with me? And I don't, because I was so ashamed of being pregnant. So, woo!
That's my rock right there. She looks good up here. Hot damn. I love it. We, and man, I'm not the proudest saying this, but I gave in to a little bit about what my parents were saying. Abortion wasn't an option for me, but I remember Ray and I talked on the phone and said, hey, hon, maybe adoption might be the thing. I don't know. And the big thing there was my turnaround was I finally got away from their voices and what they were trying to tell us. We were able to come together and start to think of what we actually wanted and not what other people wanted for us. And that's where we were able to make a decision together of, hey, this is our baby. We didn't know we had a daughter at the time, but this is our baby. We're gonna do this. We're gonna make it work, from hell or high water, whatever it is. So stop and ask, and I know not everyone can put themselves in these shoes, but we stop and ask, okay, you're 15 years old, you got $7,000 in the bank, and you're pregnant. What do? You run away. Woo! So we've been told we're kind of like the modern day Bonnie and Clyde, where we had 2007 Pontiac G5, took like $20 to fill up the tank. $7,000 would take you a long way in that thing. So we drove down to a little place, Belen, New Mexico, and pregnant mama's got to eat. Stopped at a little A&W restaurant and got some food. And apparently when you swipe your card with technology, people can track you. My mom had a joint bank account with me with that money, and what ended up happening is they tracked it with the police, and long story short, there was a black and white photo somewhere, we got to find it, of a skinny little 15-year-old and another girl in a hoodie in black and white posted up at this restaurant. It looked like we were like on FBI's Most Wanted. And so that was kind of our start, our kickoff of getting away. And it just continued on.
So we obviously went through with the pregnancy. We had a lot of ups and downs between going through with the pregnancy and now our oldest daughter, 7, going to be 8. We didn't know what to do for income, really. We had, again, for whatever reason, listened to the voices of our parents. You got to go to school. You got to get an education. You got to get a good job. So Jake had joined the film union, did that for about 4.5 years. I was in school full-time for nursing when I found the Alliance. And then along the way, we did plan a second kid. Got the same reaction, not necessarily the abortion one, but the same reaction of like, you do know how you get pregnant, right? I said, yes, I do, and I wanted another kid. So, but we have our daughter now, Catalina. She's 5. So I'll kind of let you talk on this right now. But we were introduced to the Alliance, like I said, by Jared Gonzalez, a good family friend of ours. So.
And thank you to Jared Gonzalez for asking us that simple question. Our first hotspot, well, for Vere was with Jara and Jerry, and I was invited to the next one thereafter, and the Noelle Leventovich was there, all the way from Kentucky. And at the end of it, she looked into our eyes. She looked at both of us as we were talking, and we caught a vision because Noelle believed in us when no one else did. When no one else did, Noelle was there, and she believed in us.
I remember it. She pulled us aside, and she says, you know how Noelle stands. I believe in you. I don't know if that's a good impression. But so we got licensed. I started running super part-time all of 2019. Jake stayed at his job. 2019, running part-time, we were able to win the Alaskan cruise, so that was cool. 2020 was our first full-time year. We were super, super scared, had no idea what we were going to do because Jake had decided to take the leap of faith and quit his full-time job. But 2020 ended up being amazing. We made $132,000. And that gave us the belief, like, we can do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So. At that point there, we knew we were 100% committed to the team. We were 100% committed to the Alliance. We were 100% committed to Jara, to Joseph Dukes, to Mike and Noelle, to Andy and Jane. We knew we could do this. We were all in, 100%. And with that, it's coming back to, okay, now we're here. We have the $58,000 in the bank. What do we do with it? Well, we grow our business. We invested in leads for our team. We invested in traveling to our team to go help them and help them run appointments. We invested in staff so we could do more of what we needed to be doing while still getting the other important things taken care of. We've been able to we wouldn't have to blink twice when we were invited to something where we could go spend time with millionaires, like what you guys have all done here today.
So that's the huge thing, is just definitely having the means and the flexibility in order to do these things at our age. I mean, it's just been absolutely amazing. Outside of the business, we like to have fun with our kids.
Yeah, we do.
Our dream is to travel the world with our kids, and hopefully they can. I love food. I'm a fatty at heart. So my dream is to just like travel the world with the kids, eat as much good food as I can, you know, just do those fun things. Just before this, we were out at the Jersey Shore with the kids and left them in Brooklyn with Jake's parents. And so, you know, we're just trying to have fun and be an example for our kids that you can do this. And, you know, I think at the end of the day, it's, you know, we create our lives. We don't have to listen to the paths that other people think is best for you. Like, we decided that we weren't going to inherit the lives of our parents. I think that's the biggest thing. We decided that we were going to make a change for ourselves. And most importantly, we decided that that's here with the Alliance. But yeah, so that's what we have for you guys today. I hope if there's anything that you guys can take out of this, it's, you know, we've made our decision to go on our own path. And maybe you weren't 16 and pregnant. Maybe you weren't, you know, like Megan Wood. But what's holding you back right now that you're taking the path that other people have laid out for you? You know, so what is it that's holding you back, and what are you going to do with it? Because this is the opportunity of a lifetime, and we're all in 24/7. And so thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Alliance stage, Nick Greco and Mike Guerrero.
All right, what's up, Alliance? What's up, Legacy Life? In the back?
Is this on?
All right, guys. So my name is Nick Greco. This is Mike Guerra. And there we go. The Batman. And you know, these guys, Andy, like everybody, they asked us to talk about just what we're doing to grow the business. And I know a bunch of you guys, you know, we haven't met yet. I've met a bunch of you here this weekend. I'm like, oh, I'm Nick. they're like, oh, whatever. I'm like, oh, I'm Nick Greco. They're like, oh, you're that guy. You know, Diana Castile was like, I hate you. I'm like, why? She's like, because you're growing. I'm like, well, come with us. I'll help you. You know, so here's what I want you guys to understand and just know, where we came from. So prior to being with the Alliance, we were in a network marketing business, and it was a ton of fun. We learned a lot, but it was hard. Like not only in that business did you have to be good, but you had to work really hard and be good. Okay? And so we got really good. We got really good at building teams. We got really good at just leadership and personal development. Like we had a lot of those things coming in to the business. And what I want you guys to get is the opportunity that we have here at the Alliance. Like this, I don't know if it's lost on y'all, but it's not lost on us. Okay, like I think some of you guys have been in this for a while and you don't know how good this business is. Like legit, you don't know how good this business is. And you're having trouble recruiting people because you don't know how good this business is. So you're not telling your friends. You're trying to talk to people on, ZipRecruiter, or I don't know what y'all are doing, okay? Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I'm just saying, like, what we have our hands on here is ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Like, in this business, you don't have to be good. You don't have to be good looking. You don't have to be anything. You just have to care about people and be willing to work hard. That's it. And care about people, work hard. That's it. And a bunch of people, well, what are you doing? Like asking us questions. It's like, we're just working really hard. Like we're just working really hard. We're talking to all kinds of people. Like my wife, my son is watching. Hi, guys, Danielle, Giuliano. I'm working hard. I know Mike's working hard. And I think for some of you guys out there, it's like, why are you letting the new people outwork you? Like, we just got here. We've only been doing this for like 6-7 months. Why are you letting the new people outwork you? And some of you are like, oh, I think I'm working hard. I think I'm doing this. I think I'm recruiting. Or I think I'm building. I think I'm selling. But could we actually convict you? Like, if we put you on trial for building this business, selling, recruiting, building, could someone convict you of giving everything you got in this business? In a court of law. Like, if they followed you around. If they took your phone records, you know what I mean? Could they actually convict you of building this thing and going for it? It's like, maybe not. I don't know. But for us, I promise you could convict me of that. So we're working our butts off. Where we came from, it served us. And I just, for us, like this opportunity isn't lost on us. This is a really good business. In fact, this is a crazy business. Like you hear Andy say it all the time. Oh, this thing's crazy. Every time I come to one of these, I'm just like, holy crap, like this is crazy. Like the money that you can make here is ridiculous. It's crazy. It's true. And compared to like everything else out there, like this legit is the best business. This is the best business. It's not a fad. It's not going anywhere. You just have to care about people and work hard. And when it comes to recruiting and building, I feel like we know what we have our hands on with this. We know what we have our hands on at the Alliance. And we need to have more people here. You know what I mean? Like, we need a bigger convention room. You know what I mean? How many of you guys want to make Andy get a bigger convention room? Push the walls out on this thing. That's where we're going. This thing isn't lost on us. Mike is absolutely he is crushing this thing. If you guys have met Mike, he's who you're looking for. And he was like this in our other business, but he's a good dude. His wife is pregnant. So give it up there. And he's crushing it because we know what I have our hands on. So
cool. Awesome. Thank you, Alliance family. I know our topic is, by the way, I go by Batman. And I was with Nick in the other business for the last 9 years. And it was really good when it was good. But even when it was really good, it was never good as this. And when it was bad, it was bad. I'm not going to go through the horror stories of that, but just we cut our teeth there just like Andy cut his teeth in Amway, and it was just a really, it took a lot longer to get the goals and dreams. Like, there's people that make $100,000 a month here, there's people that make $100,000 a month there, but a lot of in between that. I just never, what it took me to do in my second month at the Alliance, it's 3 or 4 years there. Okay, and so this is just a crazy business, and everybody, you're looking for people that are at 12 o'clock, okay? And quite frankly, you're looking for crazy people. Like, people ask me what I do. Like, I'm batshit crazy. I'm crazy, okay? I've never, what other business out there can you go to work for 2 years, go hit partner, cash out, and just totally change your, I don't know any other business where you can work really, really hard, build an empire, and go cash out, right? And then get to come back and teach your friends and do it for fun. You know what I mean? This is just when Andy and Nick and a bunch of the leaders in the front row, when we went and met Brian Adams at Integrity, I was just like, this is it. This is what we're gonna do. This is everybody talks about generational wealth. And this is just an awesome, if generational wealth is in Hawaii and you're in the United States, there's a lot of good-looking things that can get you places. There's Lamborghinis, BMWs, you need a jet, all right, for generational wealth. And that's what we have here, and you need a Learjet to get to Hawaii. You can have a ramp in LA, and you can hit that thing at 300 miles an hour with a Lambo, and you ain't getting to Hawaii, trust me. And that's what a lot of other businesses are like. I mean, what we can really do here is I love the fact that we, like Nick said, we can help people, we can impact people, and we can go take care of our family in the process, and we can just totally crush this thing. And so, like, when it comes to recruiting, and we only have 2 minutes left, when it comes to recruiting, we don't do anything like paying for we don't do any of that stuff. Our last business was all based on recruiting. All right, it was very similar to like a Primerica model, where you recruit to sell rather than where here you can have people get in and just sell and make 50. This is what I love. People can get in here and they can make 50 grand a month just selling. True or not true? People can also get in, do no selling, which I don't recommend. You got to do it, teach it. But they can make 50 grand a month in overrides. I've seen some checks. Andy's shown me some checks of people that don't sell, and their overrides are 80 grand a month. Where else is a business that you can do that? You can do what you want and just help people get what their goals are. And so all we do is when we get new people started, before they get licensed, we're trying to talk to their 3 to 5 most high-speed people, okay? I put Nick in. I say, Nick, and we do this all over Zoom, and we show the numbers, okay? In our last business, we never showed the numbers because people wouldn't want you to see their numbers, okay? Literally, no one's excited about someone that's been in for 4 years and making $4,000 a month, all right? But when we have people get in, like my friend Chrissy, who made 13 or 15 grand her second month, that's a cool story. If someone that's doing this part-time on the side, they make 5 grand a month, that's a badass story. So we do this all over Zoom. We work together, and we show people different stories, and we relate, this person's a teacher, this person has a health agency, this person does this person does that, and we try and relate different stories in Alliance. All right, if someone's like, we're going to get what's Kat's, the daughter, Emily. I want her story. I'm going to get a video of her. Anybody that's 20 to 23 years old, I'm going to be sending that to her, okay? You need to partner up. You need to meet all the people. You need to get their stories, and you need to send that to your prospects. Your story might not relate to them, but somebody else's will. And so you need to be able to do that, connect with the top people, get their stories, all right? And how do you connect? How did we get to meet Andy and get close with him? We worked our ass off. We showed we're excited, and not just that we showed we were excited, we went and did the work too. So we're going to absolutely crush this thing. I know my goal is to go partner. Sarge was talking to me about, did you see the new you can get to agency? I'm like, I don't care about any of the levels. I'm going to go partner. That's just going to happen inside that is the goal, okay? I'm going to go partner, generational wealth, and I'm going to help every single freaking person back there with any freaking amount of desire. I will have your back, and I'll go to freaking war for you. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Alliance. We're going to freaking crush this thing. We are the future of this company.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the Alliance stage, Brandon and Haley Manley.
This side. What up? How's everybody doing? My name is Brandon Manley. This is my beautiful wife, Haley Manley.
Hello.
How you guys doing today? Good, good. Heard they've been lighting y'all up, so hopefully we can do the same. So guys, what we wanted to come up here and do is talk to you guys a little bit about Andy. And we get to see Andy on a little bit more of an intimate relationship than most, right? And for those of you who don't know, this is his daughter, okay? So let's get that out the way. I'm Haley's husband, or Brandon, some people call me. But what we want to talk to you guys about is kind of what we've witnessed watching Andy work. And we've really boiled it down to three things that we want to talk about. One of those is the dream. The second is the struggle. And the third thing is success, okay? So I want to start with the dream. And, I think for me, it's been kind of wild to come in. I've been dating Haley 7 years, and I genuinely had no clue what this was about until like 6 months in. So you can imagine kind of the culture shock coming to one of these events for the first time, dating a girl. I was in college, so I was jacked up. But I think that's the thing that really inspires me most, and I know it inspires Haley and Spencer. And I know that it inspires a lot of you guys, is the dream that he, right? So seeing the things that he does, and I know his dream is to be able to provide things for his children, be able to provide things for his family, as well as his Alliance family that he didn't have in the past. Okay, so the brilliant thing about Andy is he tells us this, and I hope we're listening, but he's not thinking about the dream for today. He's thinking about his dream 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road, right? What does he always say? What's my 65-year-old self saying to myself, right? He says that all the time. And I think when you talk about what's important to him, he's looking back on that. Did he fulfill those dreams? Did he fulfill those dreams enough to have them carry on for generations? I would argue they have. But the great thing is Andy's not finished, right? And we look at his dream and we look at his success, and we often don't consider the struggle. And who better to talk about the struggle than his daughter? Like, you guys see what he has now, but Haley was 6 years old before he started having real success. So she's been there. She's seen the struggle along the way. So who better to talk to you guys about that?
So I think it's funny how a lot of people always ask, what's it like to have a dad like me? I never had another one, so I don't really know what to compare it to. But I told someone yesterday, you have a guy who raised you, someone who gave you unwarranted advice. That's kind of what it's like. But what I saw and what is still inspiring today is that Dad, he's always working. And to some that might seem like it's an inconvenient and it's hard, and yeah, it is. He's taking calls all the time. He's never not on the phone, but his choice to do that is what builds his success. He's not doing that for kicks and giggles and as an excuse to spend time away from his. He's doing that to go to work. It's all about the consistency in what he's doing. He's never stopped, and I don't think he's going. He's never been that traditional 9 to 5 that you want to go to work in the morning, send him off, he comes home, hey honey, I'm home, he's still working, still on the phone all the time. That consistency is what gets it. That's what gets the stuff done. He works every day. You gotta do the non-ordinary things to get the extraordinary choices that we get.
Right. Exactly. And the last piece that we're going to talk about is the success part, right? Which I was telling Haley when we were going over this, it's very easy to look at the success that Andy has and overlook the dream that he had and the struggle he had to get here. Right? It's like a lot of us. We look at people who are doing $50,000 a month and we're like, dang, they're just good. But we don't realize what they went through. I was talking to Brian Rojas the other day, and Rojas was telling me, that's right. And Brian was saying, I hit 50,000 in June or July. Correct me if I'm wrong. And but he's like, what people didn't see is I was shooting for that goal from January to July. I failed every single month. He's like, but I kept going. And that's what Andy does a really good job of. So don't overlook that, right? So the bigger your dream, the bigger the struggle is going to be. But I would argue that the greater the outcomes, the greater the success will be. So keep that in mind when you're going through the grind, because this is a grind, 100%. The travel, the appointments, talking on the phone all the time, it's a grind, but it's worth it, right? It's worth it in the end. You see success stories all over here. I think one of the things that I think about a lot is I want my kids to look at me as the example. Okay, so Andy, he loves to say that he's always trying to get adults to do what? What they tell their children. And I think that's pretty powerful because I think we know that it's the right thing to do in most cases, but we don't listen to ourselves. We'd rather tell our kids, right? And I don't have kids yet, and Andy will remind you of that next week. But when we do, I want to be that example. I want to do what Andy's done for Haley and Spencer for my children. I don't want to ride his coattail. He's done a great job. But it's been a great example, too. So I hope you guys are taking note of that, and you want to do the same for your children. I'm really kind of closing up here, and I want to ask you guys just some questions to consider, okay? Are you setting the example? Are you setting up the dream? Are you showing the struggle to your children? And if the answer to that's no, that's okay. The next question is, are you willing? And if you're willing, we got something to work with. You ain't. I don't know what to tell you. But the last question is, if you are willing, are you willing to make those same sacrifices to give your children those choices, to set the example for them? I think that's what it boils down to. And I want to do that for my family. And I will do that for my family. And I think we're all here today because we will. So don't use you're around the fire now. But when this thing wraps up, really easy to lose that motivation. So just know that there's going to be a struggle to get to the success. So push through. Thank you guys. Brendan, Haley, Vanley.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Paul and Tamra Roberts.
If I could get y'all to be that excited about the new level start, that'd be cool. Thank you. I had exactly what I was going to say to y'all, and then Friday, Andy rolled out the new levels. And that's all I can think about. I'm going to get to what I want to talk about, but I got to mention it because the simplicity and the clarity in our levels chart, Tiana, is amazing. We can proudly show that thing with no confusion. People love clarity. People love simplicity. Y'all love clarity. Y'all love simplicity. It's been given to y'all on a silver platter. 2 people to become a board member. Think about it. 2 people. 2 legs. If you could do me a favor, don't complicate it. Been getting some weird questions. I don't like answering weird questions. So what I'll say is don't worry about it. So if I say don't worry about it, know you just asked me a weird question. Two. You get to talk to somebody and say, do you know 2 people? Because if you know 2 people, you can become a partner with integrity. You with me? This is like this. I love it. That's why I love running so much. I love running marathons. People confuse that too. And here's how you run a marathon. You might want to write this down. Here's the start line. Y'all good? There's the finish line. And you're going to run in between those. Y'all with me? Okay. 2 legs is all we need. Please. I want everybody in here to go partner. I want you to be dreaming about the people you can go back home and touch and let them know they just need 2 people. And I want you to be thinking about all the agency managers, Mike Williams, that you're going to bring to this event next year. Bubba, I want you to be thinking of the people that you're going to bring to this event next year and how many agency managers you're going to bring. How many are going? There is no cool. We're going to do the ring ceremony tonight. And I pray that you're cheering for Andy Riddle, but at the same time, you're saying and thinking to yourself, I'm going to be up there getting a ring. Andy's going to be reading that speech to me next year, getting a ring. And I'm going to have people on my team with me getting a ring. Okay? I want you to be happy for Riddle. But at the same time, I want you to be thinking about, like, my first event that I came here, I was excited about everybody winning. Don't get me wrong. I was fired up, but I was also envisioning myself winning. I need you to envision yourself winning. And there's no better time to do that right now, especially with, oh, wow, y'all broke the floor last night. That's cool. That's awesome. There's no better time than right now with the simplicity and clarity of our levels to just go out and find people to Starbucks, a Kmart, or whatever and say, hey, a Blockbuster, and say, hey, 2 is all you need, right? 2 is all you need. Please don't complicate it. Don't come to me and say, well, you say 2 is all we need, but okay, you're complicating it. 2. Okay, 2. Next thing I want to talk about you going partner is we got to quit being, it's going to sound very contradictory, we got to quit being teachers. We're teaching too much. We're trying to show people our worldly knowledge and our wisdom of how great we are selling life insurance. And we're teaching and we're teaching and we're answering and we're answering. I'm going to ask a question, and I'm begging you not to answer it out loud because I might embarrass you. I don't want to embarrass anybody. So just answer this question inside your head, okay? Which is easier? Running uphill in the shade or running downhill with the sun beating down on you? Do not answer that question out loud. With the sun beating down on you, running downhill, which is more difficult? See, that's the challenge, is sometimes y'all answer questions when your people ask you questions and you haven't asked enough questions. You can't answer that question. Is it summer or is it winter? You with me? There's so many ways that, is it mile 19 or mile 2? Big difference. I've hallucinated on mile 19. I've never hallucinated on mile 2. I don't care. You see what I'm saying? You've got to ask more questions. I have people that will come sit at my table and ask questions, and there'll be 5 people answer the question without asking more questions to their question. We're not the great teachers that we think we are, especially me. I'm a very simplistic person. There's not a lot of complication going on up here. One of my favorite bands is Limp Bizkit. I'm not that sophisticated. Think about the name. It's a weird name. So don't try to be this all-knowing, well, let me tell you my philosophy of how I set appointment. You with me? Instead, ask more questions. Let me read this to y'all. See, like I can't invent nothing. I'm reading from the Bible right now. You ready? Don't be in any rush to become a teacher, my friends. Teaching is highly responsible work, and none of us are perfectly qualified to teach. We get it wrong nearly every time we open our mouths. I don't want you to be a teacher anymore. I want you to be a doer. I need you to set more appointments than everybody. That's the best teaching you could ever possibly do. I want you to run more appointments than everybody else. That's the best teaching you could ever do. I watch some of y'all teach. Y'all teaching on that back wall like nobody's business up in here. Let me tell you what he's trying to say up. Let me tell you what the all-knowing Paul Roberts, the great philosopher Paul Roberts, is saying. You don't need to translate what I say. It's pretty simple. We get it wrong most of the time we teach. So instead of teaching more, just ask more questions. And I'm not kidding you, 99% of the questions that people ask you never need an answer. Majority of those questions, the reason they're asking those questions is they're just afraid to pick up the phone. They have fear. Then you spend the next 45 minutes giving them your worldly knowledge. Are y'all with me? But if I could get you to do this, just say, I don't really know. What I do is on Tuesday nights, I set 20 appointments. Then I go run them. Then I do it all over again. And then when I'm at the Starbucks line, I show them our levels chart, because you only need 2 people to go to the top. That's all you need. And you just keep saying that over and over. And okay, let me go on. By the way, when you teach a lot, in the beginning, the people will listen, but then you begin to ignore them later because you keep teaching. Y'all with me? Keep teaching. They done with you, man. They moved on. All right? Don't worry. A word out of your mouth may seem of no account, but it can accomplish nearly anything or destroy it. It only takes a spark, remember, to set off a forest fire. A careless or wrong placed word out of your mouth can do that. I watch people give their philosophy of each lead type. Can y'all stop that, please? I'm begging you. Please stop. We don't need, just stop. A lead is a lead is a lead is a lead. Because you're about to give your great philosophy on XYZ lead because you don't like it. But yet, this person over here is writing $30,000 a month with XYZ lead. But now your careless word has just messed up everything, and that person might quit and not show back up. And that person might not be on your team. They might be on someone else's team, and now you've hurt them. We're not going to hurt each other, okay? So instead of, well, which leads are best, say, it depends. Which leads have you dialed so far? It depends. Running uphill or running downhill, which one's harder? It depends. Is it winter or is it summer? What mile are you on? Get great at asking questions back, as opposed. It's not like I'm partner or your agency manager or district manager and it's your turn to impart wisdom on everybody. I barely graduated high school. I'm not going to impart a lot of wisdom onto Megan. She's got a college degree while she had a full-time job. I couldn't do either one of those. I got fired from all my jobs. I'm not going to impart wisdom on, y'all with me? Instead, just say, this is what so y'all can finish the sentence, we're cool. This is what I do. This is what I do. Hey, should I get XYZ lead or ABC lead? Let me tell you what I do. Not what leads you buy, not which ones you prefer. Well, I like this. Because sometimes we answer that question with such excitement, like, well, let me just tell you why. But, some people don't like steak. Y'all with me? And so, I mean, don't be in a rush to give them just say, hey, this is what I do. I call these leads. Which ones do you get? All of them? I don't know. I just call them, and I set 20 appointments. And then when I'm at Starbucks, I talk to people about this business because you only need 2 legs to go to top contract now. Okay? I want all of you to believe that you're getting an agency manager ring. Anybody can do it. I'm living proof. Like, I carry my high school transcript with me to show people because they don't believe me. I got all D's and F. My SAT, and what's the other one you add them together? Oh, the math and the English part, you add them together, I didn't even get 600. I'm a hope dealer. And I need y'all to be hope dealers. There's enough confusion in people's lives. There's confusion in your lives right now. You're battling it right now. We're all battling just crazy stuff going on in our life. And then sometimes when we have crazy stuff going on in our life, then we want to focus on other people's lives, so we watch the news. Don't watch the news, please. I haven't watched it in 15, 16 years. Just stop watching it. Just more confusion. But when you're doing, everything feels good. When you're doing, pain goes away. I mean, when I'm running a marathon, there's parts of that marathon that I know if I stop, it's over. I will not be able to talk myself in to start running again. It's the same with this life, and it's the same with this business. Don't stop doing. Stop teaching so much and become a doer. Everything about you is, man, he just goes. And do me a favor, don't brag about it. Don't tell everybody how much you're doing. You don't have to brag about how much you're doing because people are going to start bragging about how much. There's no simpler way to go partner than what I'm teaching you right here. All I've done since I've been here is move. I just keep going. I don't know the answers to 99% of the questions they throw at me. And I just say, don't worry about it, and I just pick up and start moving again. And I start heading in the direction of wanting to succeed. I hope I simplified a lot of y'all's lives and y'all's teachings and Zoom calls that you're doing. And I hope I eliminated some Zoom teaching calls y'all are doing. I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that out loud. It's fun becoming a partner. But it's a journey. We're all on the journey. It's Tim Goad said it best. He goes, the day you become partner, everything changes, but nothing changes. Everything's going to change in your life, Paul, but the world ain't changed in it at all. Nothing changes. You still got to do the same things. You still got to deal with stuff. You still got to do, Yeah, and I'm not like, I'm going to go on a book tour now. I'm going to write books now. I'll do a speaking tour, speak about the knowledge of becoming partner. That'd be a boring speaking tour. It'd be a boring book. Chapter 1, do. The end. Most exciting part about this business, though, is the uncertainty. If you could just grasp that and understand that, you'd have a blast doing it. Just the uncertainty of this business is actually a lot of fun, but it drives you nuts right now. I'm asking you to embrace it, enjoy it. Because it's what makes it so exciting. It's what makes the reward of becoming partners so great. It's what makes the victory so beautiful. It's what makes that victory when you're by yourself and everything just happens and you just get to kind of look in the mirror and outstanding. But it wouldn't be that way if there wasn't uncertainty along the way. One of my greatest hates of running marathons, but also the greatest accomplishments of running marathons is that morning I never know what that race is going to entail. I don't know. Is it mile 14 that I'm going to start freaking out? Is it mile 23 that I'm going to start freaking out? Where's it going to happen? It's going to happen somewhere where the devil's going to enter my brain and tell me I can't do it at some point in that race. And my wife, God bless her, I love her to death. She has to put up with that because she'll travel when I run a marathon, and I drive her nuts in that morning of that marathon. I'll be like, my right pinky toe's hurting. I'll come up with made-up parts because I'll start freaking out, right? Well, guess what? Y'all start freaking out when y'all start building this thing and start asking what-if questions that have no bearing whatsoever, and I'm going to answer y'all the same way my wife answers me when I start making up body parts. She goes, would you just shut up and run? You come up with something new every time we're about to go. And every time you come across the finish line smiling, crying, happy, excited. This journey is great. And it's going to begin right now with y'all thinking about the recognition that we're going to have at the January conference of how many people you, not me, not Andy, not Mike and Noah, how many people are y'all going to have up here getting that ring ceremony? How many people are y'all going to bring here? They're going to get that big, beautiful ring, have Andy read that speech to them that makes us all cry back here, by the way. And how many? Just envision it, see it, because it's a blast. Being partners is fun. It's fun having your name over there on the, it's kind of, when y'all aren't here, I just look at it. I try to play it cool like right now, like I don't see it. It's fun. I want y'all to have something like that. On my parking place this time, dear Lord, he put me right beside him out there. I feel like I'm parking in the King's place. I feel a little funny. I'm not going to lie about that. I was like, Tamara, I wish it could just be like one more down. That's the King. That's Jane's place, you know what I'm saying? That's right by his car. I want y'all to experience that stuff. Because then when we went to go rent a car, I said, Tamara, we're going to have to pick out a nicer daggum rental car because parking right beside the Maybach, for crying out loud. I can't let Andy down pull up in a Nissan Sentra. Please hear me out. We've got everything. We had everything before this convention, but now we got the new levels. We have the most simplistic levels chart in the world. I'm going to hang it proudly. I'm going to talk about it proudly. I'm going to suggest you do the same. Don't complicate it. Just tell it's two people. Please go out and get yours. I'm definitely getting mine. Adios.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Adam and Beth Katz.
All righty. You know, I was thinking I was going to change my song, and then I started thinking, wait a minute. We have a Hall of Fame. It's called an Integrity Partnership. And I'm going to live in the Hall of Fame. So I am excited about that. Has anybody addressed how good Marcus and Josh Richardson looked dancing last night? That was impressive. What a blast. What a blast. Just your average insurance company. Just a little training. How about this? What does it take to make a commitment? Have you thought about that? John Maxwell says this: decision making is overrated. Decision management is underrated. See, once you make a decision, once you make a commitment, you don't have to keep making that commitment over again. It's done. I made the commitment. But you know, it's like, hey, I've made up my mind. I'm going agency manager. Now everybody's going agency manager with the new comp program. Unbelievable. I'm going partner. I'm going to Alaska. I've made that decision. I've made that commitment. So now I'm going to draw that line, right? We draw that line. Where do we draw that line? We draw that line in the concrete. Now, most people, though, here's what they do. They draw their line in the sand. See, that's the saying, isn't it? I'm going to draw my line in the sand. Have you ever been to the beach? You know what happens with the sand? The ocean comes. You draw that line, and the sand gets washed away. And that decision you made, that commitment you made gets washed away. You got to draw your line in the concrete where it doesn't get washed away, where it's permanent, where you make a decision, and then you back that decision with massive activity. Beth and I have made some commitments.
So 30 years ago, Adam and I decided that we would make a family together. And we had a plan. We were college educated. We were going to be teachers, getting married. I was going to work for 4 years, pay off our scholarship stuff, and then we'd have children, and we were going to be financially wise and make all these savings so that I could come home. And then life happened. And we were in the parking lot, in the parking deck in Raleigh, North Carolina. Andy Albright had, out of the blue, called us and said, "Are you open to options?" And we were having a discussion about what was our future going to look like. And Adam just turned to me and he said, "If we don't do something different, you'll never be able to stay home." Now, we didn't know what all that something was. We didn't know how far out of our comfort zone it would be. We didn't know the hard days. We didn't know the great days. We didn't know what it was going to entail, but we knew we had to do something different. And my guess is that you're here in the Alliance because you want something to change in your life, and this weekend, decide what you're going to do different so you can get what you want. Decision number 2. We locked arms with Andy and Jane Albright. Every time we got around them, they cast a vision that let us see that our life could be different, that there was a possibility, there was hope. I could stay home. We could be financially independent. We could make changes in our life like it's possible. And we were attracted to that. They gave us an example. They gave us an opportunity. They showed us a path, and they said, "Just come with us." And so our decision, standing in my kitchen one day, was that if Andy and Jane invited us, our answer would be yes. Sometimes saying yes to that meant saying no to other things. We might leave a family vacation. We might miss a birthday. We might not always have a family dinner together. But our saying yes to Andy and Jane would change our life. Decision number 3, Adam was going to sell, build, and recruit, and I was going to do everything else. I don't care how you manage your life. I don't care who defines what role, but we defined our roles, and then, by gosh, go out and do what you said you were going to do. So what does it look like 30 years later? Our daughter, Sarah, 23, married. Our son-in-law is on his first deployment. Thank you for his service. Emily, I think you heard her this morning. Proud mama. And let's see, Adam, exactly 2 weeks to the day, to the hour, My job as full-time mom ends because Andrew goes off to college, and now we decide we're going to partner.
We've made some big commitments. The first commitment Beth and I decided to make was our commitment to our God. I give him all the honor, all the glory. We are having some great growth. We are so blessed. In a year, about a year and a half ago, I decided I'm gonna commit to journaling every morning. I'm gonna journal. I'm gonna read devotionals. I'm gonna get my eyes focused on the right thing to start the day, to carry me through the day, instead of trying to live on my own, where that wasn't working. So we made that decision. God's first. I made a commitment 29 years ago to Andy and Jane Albright. I haven't always lived up to my commitment, but I always remembered my commitment. I wanted to do life with Andy and Jane. I wanted to go where they went. I wanted to be with them. I wanted to earn the opportunities to do those things. Andy and Jane have always had our back. I was committed to having their back. And I live every day. I get up every morning. I go to work. I grind, trying to live up to that commitment. I'm committed to our team. We got a wonderful team. We got an unbelievable team. We're going to have so many agency managers walking across stage at NatCon. It's going to be unbelievable. You do not want to miss NatCon because it's going to blow your mind. The ring ceremony is just going to be unbelievable. But I realize this. In order for me to fulfill my commitment to my team, I had to be the example. Andy says this: we owe our people an opportunity and an example. Well, Andy has provided the opportunity. I need to provide the example. I need to be better. I need to read more. I need to listen more. I need to dedicate myself to the system more. I need to do the 8 steps better and better every day. We're not looking for perfection. We're looking for progress. I made a commitment to my Alliance family, my running buddies, my team, my partners. They work so hard. They go out and achieve. One of my favorite lines out of a song, it's by Barry Manilow. Don't judge me. I'm pushing hard for him to be the entertainment at NICON. But he says this: I made it through the rain. I kept myself protected. I made it through the rain. I kept my point of view. I made it through the rain and found myself respected by the others who got rained on too. Get in the fight. Go through the challenges. Overcome the obstacles. Overcome the adversity. It's going to be harder than you think. It's going to be better than you ever dreamed. Get your backbone up. Get in the hunt. And let's go get partner done. Love you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Fitzgerald!
Woo! So when you come on stage, what's your song going to be? It needs to be something that gets you pumped up. Because I'm back there, like, rewriting my talk. Then the song comes on. I'm like, oh, it's on. Oh, yes! We got a name today. You can, oh. Not supposed to sing it, yes. See, when I was, back in the day when I was running appointments and you get no-showed or one-legged or you just sucked and didn't close it,
I'd get back in the car, and sometimes I'd listen to cassette tape on the in-home presentation, find out what I did. But sometimes I listen to Guns N' Roses. And it got me back. It got me recentered. It got me refocused. And I just said, you know what? Because that song means something. In college, I sang that song in front of 3,000 people as Axl Rose. And you know where you are? You in the jungle, baby. You're gonna die. Man, so 15 minutes, not a lot of time to tell you all the stories. You're going to have to come back to the next conference. It's been a heck of a journey. I was just back there counting on my fingers because that's how I do it. And 17 years in a row, $1 million income. And we've helped people do that. And it's certainly been a heck of a ride. But, you know, I've been asked this weekend so far, a lot of people asking, like, Fitz, you got a family and you got the business, and how do you juggle it all? Well, here's the thing I'll say. Who in the room is married with no kids? That was me and Heather. We got to $1 million income before we had babies. Intentionally? Yes, intentionally. Like 18 different forms of birth control. Because let me tell you, when we pulled the goalie, pregnant, like it was fast. I'd heard stories about people like, oh, we had to try for months and months and months. I was like, one time. Then it was a baby, and it was back to the 18 different forms of birth control. But listen, we took advantage of the opportunity when we had the opportunity. I can't tell you how to build this business and get it up and off the ground with kids. You're going to have to go to somebody else for that lesson. I was making $1 million before I had kids. So I'm talking to you guys who are no kids. Get it done now. Please, God. It is so much harder once you have the kids. Now, some people have no perspective of that. They were building it with the kids. They're like, what is he talking about? It's kind of like if you had twins as babies and then you had another one behind it. You're like, you mean it's this easy? Because twins are really hard. We had our first son, and we're like, oh, my God, this is like what raising a baby's like. And then we had our second son, and it was like, people have babies this perfect? Like, he never cries. What did we go through with that first one? It was so hard. So it's kind of like running with sweatpants on, and then suddenly you put on the tracksuit, and it's like, whoa, I'm so much faster now. Anyway. Build it now. Build it now. Dream big. What do you want? We bought our current house in 2010. When we bought it, we knew it was built in 1983. We knew it was going to be a project. It was built in 83. I was 7 when it was built. And we're going to have to do some work on it. And it's been fun doing that work. But I got to tell you, it's very rewarding now. I mean, I love when we put together a list of what we wanted the house to be. This house had every item on the checklist. And we were so fortunate to buy it when we did. The first floor is 4,300 square feet. And it's like a U or a C, or depending on the angle, around a pool. And it backs up to a creek, which in Dallas is odd. Nice trees. It's a beautiful property. We redid the pool about 1.5 years ago. Oh, that's just, because the pool guy said, look, your pool sucks. You need to redo it. We redid it in detail. I mean, we give money to charities. We're out of debt completely. We drive debt-free cars. Like, that's a big deal to me. My kids go to private school. I'm looking forward to them going to college so I can pay less for schooling. And anytime they get a math problem wrong, I'm like, seriously? Seriously? 12 divided by 3 is 4. You need to know that. Pay way too much for that education. I can get that for free at public school, kid. I'm already paying for that too. But people ask me this weekend a lot about how to get it all done. And I'll recommend that book, Getting It All Done by David Allen. Andy's the one that told me to read that book. When I was asking how he gets it all done, he said, read the book. I don't have time to tell you. I got to get stuff done. Fair enough. I'll read the book, Getting It All Done. And there was answers there. But here's a litmus test if you're effective in life, time-wise. When you're with your family, do you feel guilty that you aren't working? And when you're working, do you feel guilty that you're not with your family? You need to plan better. You need to plan better. I don't know everybody's answer for how to get all that done. For me, I had to put it on my schedule. And I block off my calendar and say, here's when I've got to do things. Here's when I'm working. Here's when I'm with family. And then I fill it with appointments. You book appointments with your kids? Yes. Or I'm not going to get it done. And I don't want to turn around one day and they're moved off and don't know who I am and I don't know who they are. I'm not a sperm donor. I'm a father, right? It's my job to launch them. So, but at the same time, I can't just, listen, my kids know me. I know it when my birthday comes around and they write me birthday cards because they write stuff to, my oldest is about to be 15. Next one's about to be 13, and then my baby girl's 9. She's perfect. But even at 8 last year, the birthday card, she said, Dad, I love that you make me feel so special. 8 says something like that. But that's not because I sit on the couch watching movies with them. Does that make sense? It's because when I'm with them, I'm doing with them. I invite them into my life too. I believe it's important that we teach our kids how to work. My kids know me, but they wouldn't respect me if I wasn't doing. Does that make sense? Well, that's a weird balance, Fitz. How do you manage it? It's a fight every day because I know I got to work. I know I got to invest in my family. I don't want to blow either one of those opportunities. So I work at it. I work hard at it. But for me, I have to schedule things. And when I know I'm supposed to be working, like it's what my block says right now is my work time, and there's a 30-minute window that's not booked on my calendar, I get itchy. That's messed up. And I have nothing scheduled. I'm going to call. I just start calling agents, texting, whatever, emailing, whatever I got to do, but talking to the staff and make, hey, are you on this? You on it? Checking. Like, I got to do something. I'm not just sit there and play solitaire. I'm a grown-ass man. I'm not going to play video games. I mean, I joke with my kids, like, because my kids play Fortnite. They're kids. They're like, Dad, you want to play Fortnite? No. I don't even want to watch you right now. Like, I'm only watching you because you're talking to your friend on the phone right now that I'm waiting for you to get done so we can go do something. Stupid video games. I'm with Vanilla Ice, man. Computers are ruining our kids. Look, in 2012, here's another litmus test that you know when your life is out of balance. 2012 was a hard year, probably the hardest year of our marriage. It was when our baby girl was born. That was actually a very joyous event. Heather's parents finally sold their house in North Carolina and moved out to Texas to live near us. Her mom had failing health and passed away a few months later. I traveled a lot that year. I was 4 nights a week, 3 weeks out of the month. You don't get to be a 2 million miler on American because you're sitting your ass at home. And then Heather comes in to the office one day. She's like, you want to go get lunch? I said, no, I got stuff to do. Bruno, my office manager, was like, go have lunch with your wife. He knew something wasn't right. We sat down and she said, look, I'm not giving you any kind of ultimatum. I'm not making any threats. I'm just going to give you some feedback on the trajectory of your life right now. You're going to turn around one day and your family and your business are going to be gone because your priorities are jacked up. You got to get some stuff back in place. I was out. It's not to say that working was wrong. It's to say that I worked so much, I had nothing else left to give to my family. And you can't spend so much time with your family that you got nothing left for the business. And you can't spend so much on the business that you got nothing left for your family. You got to balance it. How do you do that? I'm doing the best I can, and I'll tell you all the tips and tricks I got. But it's a daily fight. It's a daily fight. But when your wife makes a comment like, man, it's so much easier when you're not home. Better fix something. I'm not building the empire we're building to turn around and not have my family there. I also don't want to live with my family under a bridge. I got lots of family time. Yeah, but you're sleeping on newspapers, man. Come on. Your kids smell like urine. Your daughter is now a crack whore. Hey, Chris Rock had some definite advice for dads with daughters. I'm just saying, I'm not going to go through that. Some of y'all know. You just tell your friend. So I started making some changes. Started readjusting, realigning, reprioritizing. You need to know what your priorities are, and they need to know that they're a priority. Does that make sense? When I'm not in the office, my staff needs me. My staff's great, but I have to be around for them too. Can't just be gone. My agents need me, so I have to go. There's the balance again. There's the tug of war again. I don't know if I'm getting it right. I'm trying. Are you? Are you trying? So Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich, here's 4 points. Number 1, he said there is a cumulative value to investing small amounts of time in certain activities over a long period of time. That was read fast. I know. I've got 10 seconds. There's a cumulative value to investing small amounts of time in certain activities over a long period of time. Go and exercising 30 minutes a day, that kind of thing. You're not going to lose 100 pounds overnight, but over the course of a year you could. Number 2, there are rarely any immediate consequences for neglecting single installments of time in any arena of life. There are rarely any immediate consequences for neglecting single installments of time in any arena of life. Have I missed birthdays? Yes. Our kids know when their birthdays are, but we're the parents. We decide when to celebrate it. I want a party. Okay, it's going to be next Saturday. I want it today. You ain't getting one. Did you want one or not? Because we can do it Saturday. We're the parents, not them. Their life revolves around us, not vice versa. Hey, you get your own house, you make your own rules. Which is why my house is always at about 73 degrees. You cold, get a blanket. Number 3, neglect has a cumulative effect. You miss your kid's baseball game, not a big deal. You miss a year of them, bigger deal. It's got a cumulative effect. Neglect does. Number 4, there's no cumulative value to the urgent things that we allow to interfere with our important things. There's no cumulative value to the urgent things that we allow to interfere with our important things. So my kid's like, I got to do this Fortnite contest tournament. Okay, but that's urgent, mind you. But for me, that is very much not important. We will get back to the house so you can play your Xbox when we get there. If you miss the tournament, I'm sorry. That's not my fault, not my problem. So here's some to-do items real quick. Put together a list of all the things that need to be done. Work, life, the house, kids. Put together a list of all the things that need to be done and divide up the responsibilities among those who can handle them. My kids, all 3 of them, wash their own clothes. They do their own laundry. What do you pay them to do that? I don't pay my kids to do laundry. I don't want to set that in their mind that they should get paid to do stuff that they got private school tuition. They can kiss my butt about. You live here. That's why you do your laundry. Now once the 12-year-old did fall into the washer. He's trying to get his clothes out. I walked by the laundry room. I was like, oh, you see the feet sticking out. He wasn't calling for help. He's going to figure it out. I was like, son, you need a hand? Yeah, Dad, that'd be great. You can hear him down there. Yeah, Dad, that'd be great. And then make a calendar. Plan your work and work your plan. I always get the quote wrong. One day I'll look it up. I think it was Abraham Lincoln. It wasn't George Washington who was rumored to have chopped down a cherry tree. Abraham Lincoln said, if I got 7 hours to chop down a tree, I'm going to take 6 hours and sharpen my axe. You got to prepare. But don't miss that last hour either. He then turned around and worked on that tree and took it down. Make sense? I hope that helps. That's what I aim to do. It's been a pleasure. See you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Stephen Davies.
That song gets me fired up every time I hear it, every time. So, one question I've been asked a lot is, what made you get back in the field? What's going on there? And that's what I'm talking about this morning. I'm back in the field in a big way because I want to finance Going Partner, and I want to do it quickly. Does that make sense? Like if you're going to finance a big project, this is big, write this down. If you're going to finance a big project, it helps to have more money. You follow the logic? No, I want to invest like crazy. I'm investing like crazy. When I'm out in the field, I generate cash flow that I can pour right back into my business to get it to scale to go partner. That's 100% what's behind it. When this partnership thing came out, I was like, I know exactly what I'm going to do. Talked with Andy. Andy said, yep, go get it, Bo. Attack it. And that's why I'm out in the field in a big way. Now, has it been easy? God, no. I was rusty. I don't know if you've ever been out of the field for 17 years before. I mean, there were several presidential administrations that have come and gone since the last time I was in the field. I screwed up so much stuff in the beginning. I mean, I screwed up so much stuff. Holly was like, you did used to be good at this, right? Like, I don't know if I remember it different, but it seemed like you were better at this than you are currently performing. It was a disaster. But I needed to do it. I needed to do it because I wanted to get aggressive. I didn't want to keep slow playing this. I need the finances because I need to invest like crazy. When you find a stud like Nick Greco, you need to fly to Denver, rent a meeting room, and do a training. You can't do that if you're Penny Annie. Does that make sense? You might want to write this one down too. You can't build an empire on a yard sale budget. Like, have you ever seen anybody in your neighborhood nailing an Apple sign to a telephone pole? Not like a picture of an apple, but like Apple the company. It's like, yeah, there's an Apple thing, then there's a Tesla thing on a telephone pole. No, that's where yard sale signs go. If you want to build it big and fast, you're going to have to generate a lot of cash flow. That's what I decided to do. I'll tell you what, it makes it easier to keep your mind right when you got cash flow. When I have cash flow, my mind is not on me and what I'm not getting and how it's not fair and I don't like this and does it make sense? For two reasons. One, because I got the cash flow, and three, because I'm busy. When you're busy, it's easier to keep your mind right. Idle minds get confused. That's why when you find people that aren't growing, they got too much idle time, so they create confusion. I have zero confusion right now. I'm crystal clear. Holly and I are going partner, and I could not be more fired up about it. I'm crystal clear on what I need to do over the next little bit, and that's continue to produce at a high level. I need to be able to fly to Dallas like that. not having to question a last-minute ticket because Brian Adams says, I need you to be in Dallas. I need to have the money to do it quick. Does that make sense? All right, so now let's talk about how. How can you stack up cash to go partner? I think that was the official name of my talk, Stack Up Cash to Go Partner. How? One, believe that you're going to be great at sales. It's an inevitability. When people have that kind of, I don't know, you're not going to get great like that. It's just like riding a bike. Think about this. Would you have ever ridden a bike if you wondered if you'd ever be able to ride a bike? Like if you just rode a bike for a little bit, crashed, and like, I don't know about all that. No, you just kept working at it till you got good because you knew you wanted to ride a bike. It's the same thing with being good at sales. Anybody can be good at sales. I promise you, I was not good at sales when I got here. I was also not good at sales last November as I was figuring it out again. I promise you, when I answered that ad, Andy didn't say, staff, gather round. The one we have spoken of has answered our ad and he is here to sell. It didn't happen like that. Does that make sense? I was a disaster. I just had to figure it out. And so decide that you're going to be great at it and then just put in the reps. It's that simple. Just put in the reps. When you put in the reps, you will get better. Think about this. Let's say you book 30 appointments and you have a disaster of a week. Is that all that expensive of a tuition to pay to learn how to make $300,000 with your own pen? It's not that expensive of tuition to pay. Does that make sense? But we'll just get all down about it. There are different levels of this stage now after all that dancing. I'm gonna need some caution tape there. I've seen how this movie ends. But when you put in the reps with the determination that I'm gonna get great at this, you will. It's an inevitability. You're already great at it. We just haven't gotten to that point in the timeline yet. So don't get impatient. Don't get frustrated. It's just part of the tuition. It's part of the tuition at getting really good at what we do. When I think about people that say that I just don't know that I can ever get good at it, I think about my buddy Mercedes. Mercedes Tron inspires the heck out of me. I don't know if you know this, but Gustavo is a bit excitable. She struggles with English, but when Gustavo got sick, she decided, I've got to do this. And so she put in the reps. And she's one of the top salespeople on my team now. You know what I'm saying? That inspires me. I mean, when I was getting good at the field again last November, I was going, if Mercedes can do it, you can do it, Stephen. If Mercedes can do it, you can do it, Stephen. Don't think these conversations don't happen. You know what I'm saying? Hey, and then be a sponge. Get around top people and only around top people. Beware of people with words but no fruitage, right? Look at a leaderboard. Look at a leaderboard. If they don't got a number up there, they don't know what they're talking about. If they got a number up there, they know what they're talking about. Find those people and be a sponge. All right, number 2, on stacking up cash to go partner, overwhelm it with activity. Overwhelm it with activity. Here's where people get in trouble. When they open the door to chance. How do you open the door to chance? Be full-time and book 12 appointments for a week. You're opening the door to chance. Let me tell you how my production week went this week. Actually, let me tell you the end. The end is this. I wrote almost $13,000 before I came to family reunion. Thank you. Wednesday was one of the worst days I've had in the field in forever. Andy called me on Wednesday and said, you printing money, Bo? And I said, not so far. Oh my God, the people I talked to Wednesday. The one guy says, now explain to me why now that I'm older, life insurance is more expensive. And I said, well, you know, the thing, and I'm trying to do it nicely. And he said, that don't make any sense. Explain to me one time why it's more expensive now. And I said, brother, because you're nearer the end than you were before. Here's exactly what he says back to me. Well, that's less time they got to cover me, so I don't understand why it's more expensive. And I was like, sir, is there an adult with you? not sure you understand how money and numbers work. There's a little Einstein's video that will help illuminate. Hey, let me tell you, in 20 years of doing this, I've coached many a guy through a slump. Guess what they all have in common? They're not running enough appointments. They're in a slump, having a tough time. How many appointments are you running? I did like 12 last week. That's why, bro. I don't know what to tell you. I had 10 appointments Wednesday and sold nothing. The only sale I made was convincing me that I could still do this again. You know, like Davies, let me break this down to you. Here's 8 reasons why I think that you can still be great at sales. That was the only sale I made all day. I felt better after it, but dear God, it was tough. But you know why I wrote almost 13,000? Because I had a day full of appointments Tuesday and a day full of appointments Wednesday because I had 30 appointments. Does that make sense? It's just math. So overwhelm it with activity. Don't penny ante your activity. You're setting yourself up. If I only had 12 appointments and I was full-time, I would be so stressed out, I would screw them all up. That kind of pressure, are you kidding me? I don't need that kind of pressure. I need to have so much that even I can squeak out a sale. Does that make sense? All right, number 3, dear God, have fun selling. Have fun. I don't understand it when people hate the field and then they struggle to understand why they can't build a team. I mean, it's like, hey, so I hate doing this thing. You want to come do it for me? Well, no, I'm a leader, but I'm a leadership expert, but I hate the field. You should do it, though. Can you see the conflict? I've gotten better at recruiting because I got back in the field selling. Oh, and by the way, it's a lot easier to coach when you're in the field selling because you don't buy all the bull crap, the boo-hoo story, but you know what I'm saying? But have fun doing it. Anything can be fun. Somebody said to me recently, they said, it looks like you have fun all the time doing everything you do. And it's like, that's because I have fun all the time doing everything I do. It's not a chance, it's a decision. I have fun doing everything I do. Except for sometimes I forget and then I have a bad time. I go, wait a second, you're the guy that has fun doing everything you do. And then I start having fun again. It's a decision. Anything can be fun. I think about the TSA when I was flying to Dallas to go to Integrity. You know, you ever seen the TSA, folks? You ever just want to reach across and just make sure there's a pulse there? What are you doing? I need to know that you're still with us. I would feel better if you were actually alive. You know what I'm saying? Grab your bag. But I know this. I know I could have a blast being a TSA guy. Because if I had to be a TSA guy, do you know what I'd do? I know exactly what I would do. I would learn magic. I would do my job with flair and magic. I'd have that wand out in a minute. Beep, 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 beep. Whoosh. Bouquet of flowers. Like, sir, is this your bag right here? This bag right here? You'll notice nothing in my hands. This is your bag. Is there anything in here dove-like that I need to know about? There'd be so many doves in the airport I worked at. Wait. Sir, are you aware that Homeland Security considers some lengths of scarf as a weapon? Anything I need to worry about here? I kind of want to be a TSA guy now that I'm thinking about it. Anything can be fun. You just got to decide it's fun. Holly knows I have what's called sketch comedy coping mechanism syndrome. It's legit. I'm doing a fundraiser for us later. I've got a fundraiser for trust fall victims before that, though, but sketch comedy coping mechanism syndrome is it's a very serious thing. It's where I take all the stuff in life that I don't like and I turn it into sketch comedy. So when I run appointments and they're crazy, I get excited. I'm like, oh God, this is good. This is good. Who would play this guy? You know, this is good. Because we have the same crazy stuff that happens to you. I still remember one of my favorite stories now, not in the time. It's funny now because I'm alive still. It would be less funny if I had died that day. I mean, y'all might laugh about it. And if I die on an appointment like that, I encourage you to laugh about it. You know, it'd be my final gift to all of you. He died ironically selling insurance. I'm in this house, and there's no sale happening there. And this woman, I swear to God, she was 7'9", like a biscuit short of $5. You know what I'm saying? Like, cast a shadow upon all the land. And I was like, man, there's really nothing I can do here, so I'm going to head on out. And I turned my back on her, which, write this down. Should you find yourself in a similar situation, do not turn your back on a person of that stature who has been lonely and locked up in her apartment. As I'm going for the door, I get this. She could have palmed me like a basketball. And she said, Mr. Davies, are you a married man? I was like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I am. And she said, your wife sure do got a fine, and I can't say what she said next. And all I could think of is, I have a highlighter in my pocket. Like, if I stabbed her in the neck, how hard would I have to swing to get out of this scenario? If you run enough appointments, it'll happen to you too. Hey, you should do what we do. Just remember, the stuff that happens while you're out there is all part of a really cool story. People that don't sell insurance have lame stories. I'm related to a lot of them. It's just, remember that one time when they ran out of cake in the break room? That was wild, man. Those are the stories you're creating. And so have fun. It's so much fun. People that don't want to have fun, I'm like, you'll be dead soon anyways. Might as well have a little fun, right? Have some fun. You can find fun in just about anything. And the last thing I'll leave you with, as you're doing this, don't lose sight of what you're trying to create. Don't lose sight of what you're trying to create. Remember why you're in the field. You're in the field to go partner. Does that make sense? Don't get caught on rabbit holes. Don't get frustrated with people and say, well, I'm just going to sell and I don't deal with that anymore. Don't lose sight on what you're trying to create. Guys, Holly and I have been working so hard to create something. And we know where we want to go. We're crystal clear on that. I want you to have that same clarity. Because, guys, when I'm telling you, the opportunity you've got to go partner will blow your mind. I have been like, I've asked Paul and Andy way too many questions. I want to get more of it. You know what I'm saying? It's a massive opportunity we got in front of us. Let's go out and get it together. What do you say? All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for our President and CEO, Andy Albright.
I love this American ride. I love this American ride. Mama gets her box off, watching Desperate Housewives. Daddy wants his ass off, man, for the good life. Kids on the internet learning how to be cool. Living in a cruel world pays to be a mean girl. That's us, that's right. Gotta love this American ride. So, here's what I'm thinking. Country
music in January. Is anybody with me? That's enough.
Or the band that we had at Haley's wedding.
That's minimum. That's minimum. That's minimum. Chase Bryce, is that his name? Chase something? Chase Rice. Yeah, him. He's a Tar Heel. Okay, so first thing, while you're getting your mind right, you getting your mind right? I love the recognition. I'm going to do some recognition this afternoon sometime. Tell you what time it is. We're going to do it this afternoon at 3:20 p.m. I can't wait. Here's the people that I want on stage. Anybody that's 20 years old or younger, I want y'all to be up here. And you say, what if I'm 7? Is that under 20? Well, if I don't want to come up on stage, then don't come up on stage. I don't give a crap. It's not my life. You're not my child. That makes sense? You got it? All right, so I'll ask for you, but if you're not in the room, I can't get you up there, okay? And then I want you to come up here. I also want, if you're in the house, Omar and wife, Kimberly Miller and husband, Michelle Lee and husband, Nick Farley and husband, Cheryl Morrison and husband, Joshua Mills and husband, Chrissy Arn and husband, Daniel Patrick Wurzbacher and wife, Yen Leifer Camacho de Pina and significant other. Kavitha Anumalaseti and husband. Shavonda Griffin and hubby. David Fleming and wifey. Danny Hoyt and wifey. Kevin McCarthy and wifey. Michael Guerrera and Arcadia. And Kianye Beggs. So just so you know, if you'll be there, like I'll call you up and say why, but if you're not, that way you can be here and be ready. Like I don't want you to have one of those hallway seminars and not available and say, I didn't know. So this will be better than what I tell you, but I'll turn. This is Jane Albright. She's pretty tricky, pretty smart. And I love her, and she's going to share with y'all a couple tips that might help you. Or she might straighten me out. You never know when she gets the mic.
Y'all taking my time. Okay. Thank y'all. It's really good to see all y'all back today. Did you have a good time last night? We have had the opportunity to meet a few performers like Vanilla Ice, but he was probably the most personable, down-to-earth man that performed that I have ever met in my life. So. Agency managers, I've been asked to do a little bit of a repeat, so I might get a little more excited. So, sorry, but not sorry. How about that? Okay. I typically do not like to talk politics or healthcare or any of that stuff like that, but today's different. And I thought this morning that if I could vaccinate every one of y'all in here with a dream, you'd be lining up right now to get your shots. There's nothing greater than the freedom of peace of mind and plenty of money, pom-pom, in the world. Money is not everything, but it sure gives you the opportunity to make choices that you would not have had otherwise. Such as, I went from not cleaning toilets to having somebody clean every toilet I own. And I love that. There was a bunch of toilets that we have now. But we have a housekeeper in North Carolina, and we have a housekeeper in Florida. I just wish, like I said, I just wish I could shoot you up and get you to dreaming of what you would want. You are where you are today because of the thoughts you've had and the action work that you've taken.
you're going to be tomorrow where your thoughts and actions take you. You're not going to get the pom-pom sitting at home watching Criminal Minds, Yellowstone. I don't know. I'm not a TV watcher, so I can't tell you. There's one show I watch, and it's Criminal Minds, and I watch probably 1 to 2 episodes a day, and that's it. That's all the TV I watch. 1 or 2 a day, 2 episodes, that's an hour. I read more. Here lately, I've read about a book a week. In my office, I read in my office, which is in a nice low chair on a sandy surface with an umbrella and a nice cold beverage.
You're not kidding.
No, my office, literally, my office, Andy's office is here on the deck if he's working from home. My office is about where Stephen Davies is walking up right now, down 8 steps, ironically, to the beach, where a chair sits, most days not an umbrella, some days, in the shade of the trees, a beach bag and a book and a drink in my cup holder. So I mean, if I ever tell you you need to come see me in my office, you need to come see me in my office. Also this morning, I shared with the agency manners that, and this includes us. When I say all of us, I'm including Andy and I as well. All of us have forgotten that paths are made by walking and not waiting. I'm going to brag on him. I mean, I do sleep with him. I can brag with him. He has already made the path. He has already hired a corporate staff who takes care of lots of things. He already built an ARC system that nobody else in the industry has. He has a compensation schedule that I don't understand, don't want to understand it, but I hear that y'all are loving it and it's rocking and y'all going to do this thing. So the path is already, I mean, the footprints are already in the sand. Follow behind them. Don't reinvent it. Right, the system is proven. Work the system. It works if you work it. He's already paved the path to partner. Come on, y'all. Thank goodness Paul got focused and committed and did the work. We're waiting and looking for the next partner. They're already being talked to. They just got to get a few things lined up. And y'all can probably look among these chairs and figure out where they are. Those chairs can change. Jason and Olga, congratulations on your first time in the chairs. Mike and Amy, congratulations. Dr. Phil, congratulations. They're pretty comfortable, aren't they?
It really could change faster with these new levels the way it works now, too.
So I've had a lot of proud moments in my life. Great kids. Just, I could probably talk longer than Andy wants me to about that. But probably one of my proudest moments was last night at dinner with Brian Adams, and it was me and Andy, Andy's mom, Tutu. If y'all haven't met her, I'm sure you will. Haley, Brandon, Spencer, and his girlfriend, Meredith. And he just kind of pulled back from the table, and he said, Haley and Spencer, I'm going to talk to you for a minute. He said, do you know what an awesome dad you have? He said, out of all the partners we have, and if y'all look them up, they have a ton of partners. We were not the biggest people that they've ever purchased. Y'all aren't stupid, you know that. But he said, out of all the partners we have, nobody has built a system and a plan in place like your daddy. I mean, come on, y'all. It's coming from a billionaire. Some of us are too busy worried about the what ifs and the what nots. What if it doesn't work? What if I can't do it? What if I'm not successful? What if my mama says this is crazy? What if my wife won't let me? What if I have to go to, like Fitz was saying, what if I miss a baseball game? What if I miss a birthday? Have y'all seen our kids? I mean, I'm sorry to say, but they're pretty damn awesome. And I dare say that if you ever talk to him, they're not going to say, well, Daddy missed my 8th birthday, and he wasn't there to roller skate, and I was so sad. I don't think they're going to say that. I don't think they'll say that. So stop worrying about the what ifs and the what nots. The path has been paved. Why not you? Why not now? Why not partner? Who's next? I think some of us are so busy worried about what somebody else is doing, where we need to worry about yourself. As that little video says, you worry about yourself. You worry about yourself. If you haven't seen the video, we need to get Billy to find that for us. It's a little girl, and she's in the car, and she's trying to put on her seatbelt, and her daddy's like, do you need help? And she's like, it's TikTok or whatever. And her daddy's like, do you need help getting your seatbelt on? She says, no. And he looks back again, and she's still struggling to get it buckled. And he's like, do you need help? She said, you worry about yourself. So it's kind of like a common theme in our house now. You worry about yourself. But some of us also, we're so worried about being recognized that we can't take our eyes off of the little stuff and focus on the bigger dream. Let me tell you, you're going to get your recognition by the legacy that you leave, and you're going to get your recognition when you enter the gates of where you're going. I'm hoping it's up and not down. You're going to get your recognition by the legacy you leave, and when you get to the gates and you're looked at and said, well done, good and faithful servant. So get off your butts and get to work. Put your switch on, and let's go partner. Y'all know I could talk on and on about him. He can make me the maddest I've ever been. On the other hand, he can make me the happiest girl in the world. Lately, I'm very happy. He knows that one of my loves of life is fresh flowers. So I'm telling y'all, when I die, it ain't going to be no in lieu of flowers. Y'all better send a bunch. So when I get home to North Carolina on Tuesday, he came into the office, and I go into home, and there's this huge arrangement of my most favorite flowers, and my house smells so good. But I want you all to know that even though him going partner, it's not changed anything. He is working harder than he's ever worked for you all behind the scenes. And that's because he wants to have the most partners that Integrity has with our company and the Alliance. So we guys love y'all. We want you to join us. We're here. Don't hesitate to call. I think most everybody has our cell numbers. You have his. Here's mine if you want it. 336-327-5298. And you can even call and text me when he's not behaving, and I'll straighten him out.
Hey, Jane.
Yes.
You want that video?
Oh, yeah, you got it? Just a little snippet of it?
Why about yourself?
Can I help?
No. I help. I don't. You can help when we're LTE, okay? You can help when we are LTE. Do you have booster seats?
Probably. You want me to help, Rose?
No. Thank you. No, thank you.
What do you want me to do?
What about yourself? What about...
So, baby, I love you, but worry about yourself.
Hey, Jessica, will you come up here? I've got I got 2 tickets for Kim and Sean Miller. If y'all will grab them from Jessica, she's going to come back down. Hold on, I got Michelle and Ed, 2. Cheryl Morrison, 1. And Chrissy Arn, 1. If they're not here, somebody let her know, and I'll move on. But those are lottery tickets that you get. Okay, so we are where we are because of actions, decisions, things that we have did, or things that we didn't do by benign neglect, things that we put off until it was too late to do them. So what we did was put off. We ate too much, we drank too much, we thought about our mom and dad, we reflected and we got bitter, we let something offend us. I love, by the way, Megan Wood's story about her sister telling her that nobody liked her. I forgot about that as a kid. I remember people saying that. I remember saying that to Alan. Nobody likes you. I remember him saying, nobody likes you. James, they don't like you. Rodney Councilman don't like you. Mama don't like you. And I'd be like, really? So we decided that they didn't like us, and then we acted like they didn't. And now that's called a self-fulfilled prophecy, because they liked us, but because we treated them like an ass, then they had to retaliate, and then it looked like, in fact, it's self-fulfilled prophecy. It's what we did. It's what we decided. We all know this, right? Let me explain something to y'all. I feel like you are a kindred spirit. I feel like you are my brothers and sisters from different mothers and fathers. That's what I think. And I think you know that where you are is because of decisions. You knew what you were feeling, but you don't know what you was thinking. We definitely gonna have country music here in January. Decisions that you made got you there. You know that. You know who's responsible. You know who you want to blame, but in your heart, you know you're here because of decisions. Your billfold and your biceps are a decision. And if you win in one and losing with the other, it's what do you decide? I like this, what one fellow said. You're already married. Why are you working out? You already got her now. Why do you need any money? You got him now. Why do you keep your job? It's decisions that we make. So I feel like we're a kindred spirit, and we all know that. I think we all want more for our children. I think we all want more for our grandchildren. I think we want to treat our spouse, our parents. I think we all want to do better by our parents. I think we all have dreams. I think we need to dream more. I think I need to dream more. How many of y'all think you need to dream more? How many of you know which, if I gave you, like if I came right up to you, Jason, and said, you got to spend this $1 million in the next 90 days on a vehicle, what are you going to buy? Mercedes? If I said, we're looking to go on a trip, a contest for 2022, we'll go in 2023, but I need for you to go a couple places next month. Here's $1 million. Go first class. Where would you go? Where would you take Gus? What have you researched? Who wants to go to Machu Picchu? Picchu. Who knows how to say it? Who wants to go to Dubai and see one of those indoor snowmobiling, indoor skiing in Dubai? Who wants to go to see that palm island where they built the island in the shape of a palm trees? Who knows what I'm talking about? Who's seen that palm? Who's tried on a Rolex? Who's went in there and convinced them? In Switzerland, I still got a knot on my head. You can feel it if you want to. I was looking at a watch, and I went, bam! I said, jeez Louise. And the guy come running out there, and I left like grease marker on the thing. I'm trying to get it off. I said, how much? He said, $375. I said, $375,000 watch. He said, yeah. I said, that's insane. He said, I got one back here that's $890,000, like right at $900,000. I said, can I see it? He said, I got to get a security guard. I said, well, what you waiting on? Get a security guard. And we got a security guard, went back there and looked at it. I tried it on. No, I take that back. He wouldn't let me touch it because he said too much trouble to polish it. $900,000. The one that was $375 is the one that has this little inside. It's got the little birdies. Instead of it's insane. I think you need to dream more. And I think, okay. So, if you had $7 million in the bank, would it be burning a hole in your pocket like I do? Like you get the money, you think, what am I going to buy now? What would you buy should you have $7 million sitting in the bank? What would your house look like, Janina? Let me ask you this. What's your budget that you're going to give that little girl when she gets married? When she finds the right guy, like you do how you want to do it, but I ask around when mine got married or is getting married. How many of you traditionally think that the daughter's parents are supposed to pay for the wedding? That's the way we grew up. So a thought went through our head going like, what if Spencer marries a girl? What if their parents think like that? Or if we're going to have to take over? Are we prepared to take over? So here's what somebody told me. See, by the way, if you ever ask me advice and I give you advice, do whatever you want to do. I don't care. It ain't my life. Good news, you don't have to do anything you say. You know why people don't ask rich people? Why you focus on mine? Why you focus? Sounds like you needed a big. All right. Information changes the situation. Everything you've ever ain't what you want to be focused on, then that dogged determination got you good at, I don't even know what Fortnite is, but I feel like I should say it. Because your dogged determination got it. Well, then focus! Finished the show. And I'd already bullshitted about him for an hour and a half. 3 o'clock, I said, come here, I got an ID. And here's what I like about my staff now. They went, all right. And Chris said, I like it. All right. I was after the figures, not the feeling. I'm after the squirrel, not an excuse. You make excuses or get the job done. It is hunting. I passed out my group. I should have took a picture. I'll do at recognition, Billy. I want to take a picture of my group in 1994. And 98% in my Amway group, 98% of this room comes because of that 1994 drawing. And I was drawing that sucker out. And if I hadn't have been trying, so that when we draw up the group, we can see what their deepest leg is. Does that make sense? So it'd be a line in between every layer so we can see who's 12 deep. Does that make sense? As a exchangeable object that can do better in the world. Does that make sense? This is how we do it. You with me? This is how we do it. So what's world? That's how I define it. I give it away to car dealers, gun dealers, house. I was like, what do y'all got? Jesus over there with you? I don't know how they do that. I was like, all right. Keith, texted Keith. We have a self-directed fund. I ain't going to get into that, but I love my self-directed fund. That's heavily invested with BAM. BAM manages a self-directed fund. That's when you deposit money, Paul. Deposit it now, you get 100% deduction, but then you can divvy it out for the next 5 or 10 years, but you get the deduction this year. It's a self-directed fund. 100% deduction. I called up a guy. I said, I ain't giving NC State all that I owe them, because as soon as I do, they won't call me back. I'm going to stretch it out over years. And every time I make a payment on my commitment, you know, and if I ever get pissed, I just won't make it for a couple months. They'll start calling like crazy. I've seen how that works. So I called him. I said, I want my deduction now because I need it, but I don't want it to go to them till later. He said, that's just called a self-directed, blah, 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 blah. I didn't have to do it after he told me, but I thought it was a brilliant idea. Remember, you don't have to do it when I tell you, but if you think it's a brilliant idea, then just do it and brag about how smart you are at taking advice. That makes sense? Just ask. Just ask. How do you think I should handle it? Well, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this. Well, how do you know so many things? I got a lot of people I deal with. I got a lot of accountants and high-paid attorneys and financial planners. I've just got a decent network. Hey, I'm texting back and forth with Vanilla Ice this morning. How about that? How about that? It's called a network. I'm a networker. Did you ask him for his phone number? I did. What I did, you know what I did, right? I took it to the part, the part that people have never seen before in their life. I said, hey, Bo, let me ask you this. I know you're busy, and I won't be bothering you, but I might have something that you need to urgently know, and I want to be able to buzz you. Do you mind just dialing your number? And he took the phone, and he dialed his number, and he said, I'm going to put myself in as Rob Vanilla. Is that cool? I said, cool. I said, you don't have to do that. You can just text me. He said, no, I'll put it in. All right. What do you focus on, and how do you define it? Do you define it, Izzy, as fun, or do you find it as work? I love making money. You know where I learned that? Huh? Yeah, Amway, but what's the guy's name? It's fun making money. G.W. King, baby. It's fun making money. Fun making money. I love making money. I can't be short, fat, and dark like he was, but I can talk like him. It's fun making money. I said, mental note, fun making money. You can't give away money if you ain't got money. I defined it as the ability to give money. Some people say, some people quote the Bible. It says, it's harder for a camel to get through the eye of a needle than a rich man to get in heaven. So I said, I better look up what a needle is. Well, a needle is a doorway that's so small that only men can come in it and camels can't. I said, first of all, I'm not a camel. And is this taken out of context? And this smart prosperity preacher said, yes, way out of context. The second part of it is something that says you can get in. I was like, that's the part I'm going with. Except for the love of God or except for something. I was like, I'm going with the except part because the boy got to have some money. I defined it that way. You say, that's just who you are. No, it ain't. It's who I became. Because I went to a seminar, and this joker had me walking on fire as far as from here to that light over there. In 750 degrees, I walk around and say, cool moss, cool moss, cool moss, cool moss. I didn't have time to say, oh, shit. Oh, shit. I was like, cool moss, 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 cool moss. Praise God, praise God. And then I'm hugging the next person. I got the cold chills right now that I had then, And that joker said, whatever you focus on and how you define it. If you get sick, you define it as God, fate, something, reason I got this to overcome it and to help other people. That's why Megan went through what she went through, is so she could help other people. How do you define it? I've got a divorce, I'm a failure. Define it as a lesson. Some lady was telling me, she says, I've been married twice. I don't know if I can, you tell anybody about being married? I said, well, you can tell them about divorce. You good at that? You got it down? Tell them. This is what happened. This is what happened. I got married without asking him who he was. I said, well, tell the kids that. Put that on a billboard. You good. I'm a redneck. I'm from Union Ridge. I define that as, I tell people anybody can do it. It's your definition of what you focus on. Now you don't have to define stuff. Vanilla Ice is brilliant. He didn't define anything he don't focus on. If he didn't focus on it, he said, I have no idea. What do you think about Christian rap artists? I don't define people as Christians or black. I define it as entertainment and fun music. And there's your answer. And he don't post political crap either. And he doesn't post a picture of his ass with him holding the camera. And I've not seen John Maxwell do that either. I don't think I've seen Oprah do that either. Who are you copying? After you focus and define it, now it's what you do. What if everything in your life leading up to now, you had decided on what you focus on, defined it the way you want to define it, and then acted on that scenario? What would your house look like now? What's your house going to look like in 5 years from now? What's tomorrow going to look like? What's your children, grandchildren? What's the next 30 years? Definitely going to be country music. What's the next 30 years going to look like for you in your life? I feel like I'm with kindred spirits, and I feel like I'm going to be giving away a freaking ton of gold in January. Agency managers, district managers, and God knows these are about $16,000 now each, according to the price of gold. And this is the board member rings. Lord have mercy. I better get my in gear if I'm going to be able to pay for all this gold. Love y'all.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Miss Tia Ray.
All right, guys, couple of announcements. We are going to do this photo wall over here that was open yesterday. It's now open to you. Go jump in, take some selfies, post them on social media.